The monitor watched from beyond the source wall as reality tore like paper. Across infinite dimensions, a battle between gods had reached its crescendo, and now, one warrior was falling through the cracks between worlds. The dimensional membrane separating universes screamed as it ruptured, and Son Goku, still crackling with the residual energy of Ultra Instinct, plummeted through the void between realities. He had been fighting an opponent whose power threatened multiple timelines when the fabric of space itself gave way. Now he tumbled through colors that had no names, past concepts that had no form, until impact. Metropolis's downtown district had been peaceful moments before. Office workers enjoyed their lunch breaks in the shadow of LexCorp Tower. Tourists photographed the Superman statue in Centennial Park, and life proceeded with the comfortable rhythm of a city protected by a living god. Then the sky split open with a sound like thunder being born, and a figure wreathed in silver and white energy crashed into the pavement hard, enough to create a crater 30 feet wide. Car alarms shrieked. Windows shattered for 3 blocks, and in the center of the destruction, Goku slowly pushed himself to his feet, his GI torn and smoking, his black hair settling back to its natural state as Ultra Instinct faded. He blinked, disoriented, looking up at a sky that felt wrong, the sun's energy different, the air humming with frequencies his psion senses had never encountered. "Okay," he said to no one in particular, wiping blood from his lip. "That's new." 3 blocks away, Clark Kent's head snapped up from his desk at the Daily Planet. His X-ray vision pierced through walls and distance, focusing on the crater and the man standing in it. The power signature was immense, not quite Kryptonian, not quite anything he'd encountered before. His super hearing caught the stranger's heartbeat, strong, steady, completely calm despite having just torn a hole in reality itself. In the Batcave beneath Wayne Manor, alarms cascaded across multiple screens. "Alfred," Bruce Wayne said quietly, his cowl already in his hands. "We have a Code Omega event in Metropolis. Energy signature off the charts. Unknown origin. Shall I prepare the usual contingencies, Master Bruce?" "All of them." On Themyscira, Diana Prince felt it, a warrior's presence suddenly manifesting in man's world. Power that sang of battle and purity in equal measure. She was airborne within seconds, the lasso of truth at her hip. Goku rotated his shoulders, testing his body. Everything worked, though he felt different. Weaker wasn't the right word. The energy here flowed strangely, like trying to swim in water with a different density. His ki responded when he called it, but it felt like speaking a familiar language with an unfamiliar accent. "Hey," a voice called from above, confident, warm, impossibly strong. Goku looked up to see a man floating 30 feet above the crater, cape billowing in wind that wasn't there. The red and blue were unmistakable even if Goku had never seen this particular hero before. The power radiating from him was tremendous, godlike, even by psion standards. Superman descended slowly, hands visible and non-threatening, but every muscle ready. Up close, he could see the stranger's eyes, dark, clear, completely without guile or deception. It was disarming. Most beings with this much power carried weight in their gaze, the burden of what they could do. This man's eyes were pure. "I'm Superman," Clark said carefully. "You've just torn a hole in space-time and created a crater in the middle of Metropolis. I'm going to need you to explain what's happening here." Goku grinned, that familiar, slightly dopey smile that had preceded countless battles and friendships across his universe. "Sorry about that. I'm Goku. I was in the middle of a pretty intense fight when something weird happened with space. And now where am I exactly? Earth. Metropolis. And that's something weird with space. Has every hero on this planet on high alert." Superman's eyes narrowed slightly. "Your power signature is unlike anything I've encountered. You're not from this Earth, are you?" "I don't think I'm from any Earth you know," Goku admitted, looking around at the city with genuine curiosity. "This place feels different. The energy here is..." He paused, sensing something that made his psion instincts sharpen. "There are a lot of really strong people on this planet, aren't there?" Before Superman could respond, 2 more figures arrived. Batman materialized from the shadows of a nearby alley, because of course he did, his white lenses fixed on Goku with analytical intensity. Wonder Woman descended from the sky with her hand near her sword. Warriors' grace in every movement. The Trinity had assembled. Atmospheric ionization patterns suggest dimensional breach, Batman said without preamble, his voice a gravelly whisper that somehow carried perfect authority. Oracles tracking residual tachyon particles. You didn't travel through space. You fell through the dimensional membrane between parallel universes. Goku scratched his head. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is that a problem? That depends, Wonder Woman said, her accent carrying the weight of ancient Themyscira, on whether you came as refugee or invader. I am Diana of Themyscira. You carry a warrior's bearing. Speak your purpose. The Scion's grin widened. He could feel it now, the raw power emanating from all three of them. The flying man with the red cape had strength that rivaled his own. The woman was a warrior born, her combat instinct crystal clear. Even the one in black, who seemed to have no obvious powers, radiated a dangerous competence that made Goku's fighter's instinct respect him immediately. I'm just trying to figure out where I am and how to get home, Goku said honestly. But I gotta say, you three are really strong. Especially you two. He nodded at Superman and Wonder Woman. I can feel it. You're probably the strongest people on this planet, right? Superman and Wonder Woman exchanged glances. Batman's expression remained unreadable behind his cowl, but his mind was already racing through threat, assessments, and contingency protocols. If you want to see more characters enter different universes, hit that subscribe button and drop the name of a character and the universe you'd want to see them in down in the comments below. Hope shines brightest in the darkest night. We need to continue this conversation somewhere more secure, Batman said, his tone leaving no room for argument. The Watchtower. Now, Oracle, I'm sending you his biometric data. Run it against every database we have. Goku sensed the tension in the Dark One's voice, not quite hostility, but profound caution. This wasn't just curiosity about a stranger. These heroes had been burned before. They knew what unchecked power could do. Sure, Goku agreed easily. But just so you know, I'm not here to cause trouble. I protect people. That's kind of what I do. That, Superman said quietly, his eyes glowing faintly red as he maintained his scan of Goku's physiology, is what we're going to determine. As they prepared to transport to the Justice League's orbital headquarters, none of them noticed the boom tube, signature flickering at the edge of Earth's atmosphere, brief, subtle, carrying information back to Apocalypse. Darkseid's eyes opened in his throne room, and the Lord of Tyranny smiled. A new piece had entered the board, a warrior whose power signature sang of purity and combat instinct in equal measure. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. The Watchtower hung in geosynchronous orbit above Earth, a gleaming testament to the Justice League's eternal vigilance. Goku materialized in the teleportation bay alongside the Trinity, his eyes wide with childlike wonder at the curved windows showing the planet below. He pressed his face against the glass like a kid at an aquarium. Wow, you guys have a space station? That's so cool. He turned back to them, grinning. We had a lookout tower back home, but nothing like this. Batman's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. The stranger's energy signature had been analyzed during transport, power output that exceeded Superman's base levels, with multiple escalation thresholds that Oracle systems flagged as potentially catastrophic. Yet here he stood, marveling at architecture like a tourist, either perfect cover or genuine innocence. Bruce wasn't sure which possibility concerned him more. Conference room, Batman ordered, already moving. The Watchtower's AI responded to his presence, doors sliding open to reveal a circular chamber where the greatest heroes of Earth made decisions that shaped the world. Holographic displays flickered to life, showing data streams from the dimensional breach. Superman gestured for Goku to sit. The Scion did, but his posture remained relaxed. Open, the bearing of someone who'd never needed to guard himself because he could handle whatever came. Diana recognized it. She'd seen it in gods and champions. That absolute confidence born not from arrogance, but from endless testing. Let's start simple, Clark said, taking the seat across from Goku. Your name is Goku. Where are you from? And how did you get here? Earth, originally, Goku said. But probably not the same Earth as this one, if what the guy in black said is right. I'm a Scion. That's like a warrior race. I was raised here, though, on Earth, I mean. My Earth. Been protecting it for a long time now. Define a long time, Batman interjected, his fingers dancing across a holographic keyboard. And explain your power source. Goku thought for a moment. I'm probably in my 40s. Time gets weird when you're dead or training in different dimensions. As for power, he held up his hand, and a small sphere of blue-white energy materialized above his palm. The watchtower's sensors immediately spiked. This is key. Life energy. Everyone has it, but martial artists learn to control it, amplify it. I've been training since I was a kid. The energy sphere pulsed with contained force that made the air vibrate. Superman's eyes narrowed. The energy composition was unlike anything in their databases. Not Kryptonian solar energy, not speed force, not magical in the traditional sense. Something entirely foreign. Disperse it, Batman commanded. Slowly, Goku closed his fist, and the energy vanished harmlessly. Sorry. Habit. I fought a lot of really strong opponents. Gods. Demons. Emperors who destroy planets. You kind of have to get strong to survive that. Emperors who destroy planets. Wonder Woman repeated, her hand resting on the lasso of truth at her hip. You speak of genocide casually. Not casually. Goku's expression grew serious for the first time. I've stopped them. That's what I do. When someone threatens innocent people, threatens whole worlds, someone has to stand up. Usually, that someone is me. Diana studied him with warriors, eyes that had assessed heroes and monsters for millennia. His words rang true, but truth was only part of the equation. She'd seen pure hearts corrupted, watched good intentions pave roads to tyranny. You mentioned dying, Superman said quietly. Explain. Oh yeah? I've died a few times. Goku said it like discussing a trip to the grocery store. Sacrificed myself to stop a threat to Earth, trained in the afterlife. Got wished back with the Dragon Balls. Happened more than once, actually. Batman's fingers stopped typing. Dragon Balls. Magical artifacts. Collect all 7, get a wish. They can bring people back to life, among other things. Goku shrugged. Pretty handy when you keep dying to save the universe. The 3 members of the Trinity exchanged loaded glances. Resurrection artifacts. Casual acceptance of death. Power that exceeded Superman's. And that smile, God's. That infuriatingly genuine smile. Oracle. Batman spoke into his communicator. Pull up the Injustice files. Cross-reference with Cadmus' psychological profiles on power corruption. Already running, Batman. Barbara Gordon's voice crackled back. But I'm not seeing the usual markers. No messianic complex, no God complex actually. His dopamine levels spike when he talks about fighting. But not violence for its own sake. It's weird. He reads like someone who genuinely enjoys challenging himself. People change when given too much power, Batman said. His voice low enough that only the Trinity could hear. We've seen it happen. We nearly became it ourselves. Superman's jaw tightened. They all knew what Bruce was referencing, the Injustice timeline. Glimpsed through dimensional cracks during crisis events. A world where Superman had broken, where absolute power had corrupted absolutely. Where Clark Kent became a tyrant because he believed he knew better than everyone else. I can't hear you, Goku said mildly. Everyone froze. I have really good hearing. You're worried. I'm going to go crazy and hurt people because I'm strong. He leaned forward, and for a moment, they saw something beneath the cheerful exterior, a depth of experience that came from battles spanning decades. I've faced that temptation. Had godlike power literally thrust into my hands. Could have wished for anything, ruled anything. But that's not what strength is for. Then what is it for? Diana asked, her hand slowly moving away from her lasso. To protect people who can't protect themselves. To give them time to live their lives without fear. Goku's voice carried absolute conviction. And to fight strong opponents who challenge me to get even stronger. That's what makes life worth living. Pushing past your limits. Finding new heights. But never at the expense of innocent people. Superman studied the Scion's face. Every instinct he'd honed over years of protecting Earth said this man was genuine. But Clark had been wrong before. He'd trusted Lex when they first met. He'd believed in redemption for villains who proved irredeemable. And he knew, gods, he knew that he himself was only one bad day away from becoming the nightmare. Bruce feared. We need to test you, Batman said flatly. Combat assessment, psychological evaluation, power threshold analysis. Until we understand what you're capable of, you remain under observation. Goku's grin returned. Combat assessment? You mean like sparring? His excitement was palpable. Now that sounds fun. This isn't a game, Batman growled. No, Wonder Woman interjected, and something in her voice made both men look at her. But perhaps Goku is right. Words can be manipulated. Records can be falsified. But a warrior's truth reveals itself in combat. She stood, magnificent in her armor. I am Themyscira's champion. I have faced gods and monsters, trained since childhood in the arts of war. If you wish to prove your intentions, Scion, you will face me in the arena. Goku shot to his feet, practically vibrating with anticipation. Really? You'd fight me? His eyes sparkled like a child offered candy. This is the best dimensional accident ever. Batman pinched the bridge of his nose. Superman couldn't quite suppress a slight smile. There was something infectiously genuine about the stranger's enthusiasm. Training Room 7, Diana commanded. The reinforced one. Superman, you will observe and intervene if necessary. Batman, monitor from the command center. If he proves hostile, he won't survive the contingencies I've already prepared. Batman finished grimly. As they moved toward the training facilities, Goku bounced on his heels, shadowboxing the air. Man, I can't wait. You feel really strong, Diana. This is going to be great. Diana allowed herself the faintest smile. She'd faced countless warriors across millennia, brutes who relied on strength, tacticians who relied on cunning, monsters who relied on rage. This Goku was something different. He approached combat not as duty or darkness, but as joy. She would test whether that joy survived when faced with the true depths of Amazonian warfare. The training room's doors sealed behind them. Outside, Batman pulled up holographic feeds from 17 different angles. Every sensor in the watchtower focused on the chamber. Oracle's voice was steady in his ear, biometric data streaming. If he spikes toward hostile, you'll have 3 seconds warning. 3 seconds against that power output, Batman muttered. His hand hovering over the contingency activation panel. Might not be enough. In the chamber, Wonder Woman removed her tiara, her godkiller sword, the lasso of truth. This would be a test of pure skill and power. Goku stretched, rolling his shoulders. Ready when you are, he said. Diana assumed her combat stance, divine power flowing through Olympian blood. Then let us see, son Goku, if your pure heart can withstand the trial of war. She moved. Wonder Woman's strike came faster than mortal eyes could. Follow 1,000 years of combat. Experience condensed into perfect form. Her fist cut through air with enough force to shatter steel. Aimed precisely at Goku's sternum. He blocked it with his forearm, and the shockwave rattled the reinforced walls. Both warriors froze for a heartbeat, reassessing. Diana felt the impact reverb through her bones. He'd stopped her opening strike without even shifting his stance. Goku's eyes widened with delight. You're fast, he exclaimed, and that hit would have knocked out most people I know. Diana didn't waste breath on response. She flowed into a combination, elbow strike, knee thrust, spinning kick, each blow carrying enough kinetic energy to demolish a building. Goku weaved and blocked, his movements economical, reading her patterns with a fighter's instinct that matched her own. Remarkable, Superman murmured from his observation position, his vision tracking movements too fast for the cameras to fully capture. He's adapting to her rhythm in real time. In the command center, Batman's fingers flew across keyboards, analyzing every microsecond. His neural responses are off the charts. He's processing combat data faster than. Bruce paused, rechecking the readings. Faster than anything I've recorded, including you, Clark. Diana spun into a devastating roundhouse. Goku ducked under it, and for the first time, went on the offensive. His counterpunch forced her to block, and the Amazon princess felt the impact sing through her. Bracers. Strong. Very strong. She smiled, a warrior's smile, fierce and genuine. You have skill, Goku of the Science, she said, pressing the attack. But let us test your limits. Divine strength surged through her, blessed by Zeus himself. Her next combination came faster, harder, carrying the fury of storms. Goku's grin never faltered as he matched her pace, blocking and countering with technique that spoke of countless battles. They broke apart, circling. Neither was breathing hard yet. Your form is amazing, Goku said earnestly. Where I'm from, we don't have many fighters with your kind of technique. You're one of the best martial artists I've ever faced. You honor me with your words, Diana replied, genuinely pleased despite herself. But words are wind. Show me your true strength, warrior. I sense you hold back. Well, Goku rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. I don't want to wreck your space station. And I'm still getting used to how energy works in this universe. It feels different here, like the rules are slightly off. Batman. Superman's voice cut through the comms. What's he talking about? Bruce's eyes scanned data streams. The dimensional breach readings. His bioenergy operates on different physical principles than our universe. He's essentially running foreign software on incompatible hardware. The fact that he's functional at all suggests massive adaptability. Or, Oracle added grimly, suggests we're only seeing a fraction of his capabilities. In the arena, Diana's eyes narrowed. You fear damaging our station. Admirable. But know this, these walls have contained battles between Superman and Doomsday. They will hold. She assumed a new stance, one Goku didn't recognize. I am daughter of Hippolyta, champion of Themyscira, blessed by the Olympian gods. I have fought Ares himself to a standstill. Do not insult me with restraint. Goku's expression shifted, not to anger, but to respect. He understood. This wasn't just a test of power. It was about warrior's honor, about meeting someone on equal ground. Okay, he said softly. But don't say I didn't warn you. His aura exploded outward, not visible to normal eyes. But every sensor in the watchtower screamed as his power signature doubled. The air itself seemed to thicken with pressure. What? Superman started. Power output increasing exponentially. Batman's voice was tight. He's escalating. Preparing contingencies. Wait. Diana's voice cut through the comms. Steady despite facing the surge of energy. Wait. Goku's muscles tensed, defined by ki flowing through every cell. He moved. The exchange that followed lasted 3 seconds and contained 47 strikes. Diana gave everything. Speed granted by Hermes. Strength blessed by Zeus. Combat mastery forged over millennia. She was magnificent, a living weapon crafted by gods. Goku matched her move for move. They separated again, both breathing slightly harder now. A thin cut marked Diana's cheek. She'd been a fraction too slow on the 30-second exchange. Goku had a forming bruise on his ribs where her knee had connected on the 18th. Incredible, Diana breathed, genuine awe in her voice. You fight not with rage or desperation, but with pure joy. I have never encountered such. Goku's expression suddenly changed. His head snapped toward the watchtower's exterior wall, eyes focusing on something impossibly distant. Every muscle in his body tensed. There's something out there, he said quietly. All playfulness had vanished. Something really, really powerful. And it's watching us. Superman's X-ray vision penetrated the hull, scanning space. I don't see. The boom tube opened 2,000 miles away, at the edge of Mars' orbit. It lasted less than a second, just long enough for a single Parademon scout to transmit data before the portal snapped shut. But Goku had felt it. The malevolent presence behind that portal, vast and terrible. Power that made even his battle-hardened instincts scream warnings. What was that? He asked, dead serious now. Batman's fingers flew across his console. Boom tube signature. Apocalyptian technology. Someone was watching the watchtower. His voice dropped an octave. Someone was watching you. The implications hung heavy in the recycled air. Superman and Wonder Woman moved to the command center. Their sparring match forgotten. On the main display, residual energy patterns formed the unmistakable signature of a boom tube. Darkseid's technology. How long was it active? Superman demanded. 0.03 seconds, Oracle reported. Just long enough to get a full sensor sweep of the watchtower's interior. They know everything we know about our guest. Goku stood in the training room. His aura settled, but his senses stretched to their limit. He'd felt presences like that before. Beings who viewed entire worlds as possessions, who crushed resistance with casual cruelty. Frisia had felt like that. So had Majin Buu. And this presence, whatever it was, carried that same weight of absolute tyranny. Who's Darkseid? He asked as the Trinity returned to the chamber. The Lord of Apocalypse, Diana said, her voice grim. A new god. He seeks the anti-life equation, a formula that would strip free will from every living being. In the universe, he is tyranny made flesh, evil incarnate. He commands armies that have conquered thousands of worlds, Superman added. We fought him before, barely survived, and now he knows about you. Goku's fists clenched. Sounds like someone who needs to be stopped. Countless civilizations have thought that, Batman said flatly. They're all dead or enslaved now. Darkseid is the most dangerous being in this universe. If he's interested in you, that makes you either an asset he wants to acquire or a threat he wants to eliminate. Probably both, Oracle interjected. I'm analyzing the scan data. Goku, your energy signature is unlike anything in Apocalyptian records. To Darkseid, you're an unknown variable. And he hates variables. The Scion looked at the three heroes before him. Warriors who'd faced this threat before and barely survived. He could see it in their eyes, the shadow of battles that had cost them everything. Then I guess we need to be ready, Goku said simply. Because if he's as bad as you say, and he's coming for Earth, I won't let him hurt innocent people. That's not negotiable. Superman studied the stranger who'd fallen through dimensions less than an hour ago, who was now declaring his intention to face the universe's greatest threat. Everything about it should have set off alarm bells. Too convenient. Too perfect, possibly a trap. But Clark's instincts, honed through years of protecting Earth, whispered something different. This wasn't a con artist or infiltrator. This was genuinely just a warrior who heard about evil and immediately volunteered to fight it. It was refreshingly, almost naively heroic. It was also terrifying, because someone that powerful with that mindset could tip the balance of any conflict, for good or ill. We need more information, Batman declared, about your capabilities, your limits, your... An alarm shrieked through the watchtower. Red emergency lights strobed as Oracle's voice cut through. Urgent and professional, code red. Gotham City. Multiple reports of metahuman activity in the Diamond District. GCPD is requesting immediate assistance. Batman was already moving toward the teleporter. What's the threat assessment? Still compiling, but wait. Oracle's voice changed tone. Batman, it's poison ivy. But the plant growth patterns are wrong. She's not using native species. These are reading as extra-dimensional flora. Aggressive, toxic, and spreading fast. Estimated civilian casualties in the hundreds, if not contained. In the next 10 minutes. Wonder Woman's hand went to her lasso. Superman's cape billowed as he prepared for flight. Goku stepped forward. I can help. You're untested, Batman growled. Unknown. You need help now, and I'm here, Goku countered. Besides, this gives you a chance to see what I can really do. Isn't that what you wanted? The Dark Knight's jaw tightened behind his cowl. Every instinct screamed not to trust this too convenient, too powerful stranger. But Oracle's voice crackled through again. Civilian evacuation isn't complete. Ivy's plants just breached the hospital on 5th. We're looking at mass casualties. Diana met Bruce's eyes. 1,000 silent calculations passed between them in that moment. Risks, benefits, consequences. He comes with us, Superman decided, his voice carrying the authority of Earth's greatest hero. But Goku, you follow our lead. Our planet, our rules. Understood. The Scion nodded seriously. Understood. Let's go save some people. As they rushed to the teleporter, Batman activated a private channel to Oracle. Run continuous monitoring. If he deviates from acceptable parameters by even a fraction, the orbital strike satellites are already locked on his position. Barbara confirmed quietly, along with 17 other contingencies. I really hope we don't need them, boss. Hope, Batman muttered as the teleporter engaged, is not a strategy. The watchtower's lights flared, and 5 figures vanished, for heroes of Earth, and one Scion who'd just volunteered to fight in a universe he didn't understand, against threats he'd never encountered, for people he'd just met. On Apocalypse, Darkseid smiled in his throne room, his Omega beams flickering in the darkness. Let the Scion reveal himself in battle. Then the true testing would begin. Gotham City embraced them with its characteristic gloom, perpetual overcast, rain-slicked streets, and architecture that seemed designed to cast the deepest possible shadows. Goku materialized in an alley alongside the Justice League, immediately hit by the oppressive atmosphere. This city felt different from Metropolis. Darker, heavier, like Despair had seeped into the concrete itself. Stay close, Batman commanded, already grappling toward the rooftops. Ivy's powers are more dangerous than they appear. Her pheromones can control minds. Her toxins can kill in seconds. And if these are extra-dimensional plants, we don't know what they're capable of, Superman finished, launching skyward. Goku, can you fly? In answer, the Scion's aura flared and he lifted off the ground, hovering effortlessly. Wonder Woman nodded approvingly and took to the air alongside them. The Diamond District was 3 blocks away, and they could see it from here. Massive vines the color of diseased flesh erupting from the pavement, wrapping around buildings like pythons. Pods the size of cars pulsed with sickly bioluminescence, releasing clouds of purple spores into the rain. People screamed, running from plants that moved with predatory intelligence. Those vines, Goku said, his warrior's instinct analyzing the threat. They're not just plants. They've got life energy, but it's all twisted up. Wrong. Ivy's gone too far this time, Batman growled, touching down on a building overlooking the chaos. His cowl's lenses zoomed in, tactical data streaming across his display. Oracle, I need full botanical analysis. Cross-reference with Constantine's Demon Flora database. Already on it. And Bruce, it's worse than we thought. Those spores are airborne mutagens. Everyone who breathes them in is showing signs of cellular corruption. The hospitals are about to be overwhelmed. Superman dove toward a collapsing building where civilians were trapped, his heat vision precisely severing vines. Wonder Woman's sword flashed, cutting through plant matter with divine steel. Batman deployed incendiary batarangs, creating fire breaks. Goku watched them work for exactly 3 seconds, long enough to understand their coordination, their tactics, their care to minimize collateral damage. Then he moved. He appeared next to Superman in a blur of motion, catching a chunk of falling debris that would have crushed a family. The Man of Steel blinked in surprise. That was speed force velocity without the lightning trail. Where do you need me? Goku asked simply. Clark's X-ray vision swept the district. That hospital, 8th floor. 20 patients can't be moved, and the vines are about to breach the east wall. If those spores get inside, Goku vanished. Superman tracked his movement. Instant transmission? No, pure speed, and watched as the Scion appeared at the hospital, hands already glowing with blue-white energy. A precise key blast severed 3 advancing vines without damaging the building structure. Impressive, Diana said, landing beside Clark. He has a warrior's instincts. Sees the battlefield whole, moves where needed most. Batman. Superman activated his calm thoughts. From his vantage point, Bruce watched Goku through multiple camera feeds. The Scion was systematically destroying the mutant plants around the hospital. His movements efficient, his power controlled. No grandstanding, no excessive force, just precise, effective heroism. He's competent, Batman admitted grudgingly. But Ivy's the real threat. These plants are just her opening move. Oracle, where is she? Tracking now got her. Robinson Park, at the Botanical Gardens. And Batman. She's not alone. The video feed shifted, showing Poison Ivy standing amid a nightmare garden of extra-dimensional flora. Her red hair moved like living things, her green skin glowing with chlorophyll-powered strength. But beside her stood something that made even Batman's blood run cold. A woman in black armor, crowned with thorns, eyes burning with fever-bright madness. A mother box interface pulsed at her throat. That's a Fury, Wonder Woman breathed. Darkseid sent one of his elite warriors. Lashina, Superman identified, his jaw tightening. Master of pain and plant manipulation among the Furies. She must have approached Ivy, enhanced her powers with apocalyptic biotech. Batman's mind raced through tactical scenarios. It's a trap. Darkseid wanted to see how our new guest would respond to a crisis. Lashina provided Ivy with extra-dimensional seeds, created this disaster. To test me, Goku said, appearing on the rooftop without warning. All 3 heroes tensed at his sudden arrival. That's why that evil presence was watching. He wanted to see if I'd help, how I'd fight, what I could do. You abandoned the hospital? Batman's voice dropped to a dangerous register. No, the plants around it are destroyed, and I put up a key barrier around the building. Nothing's getting through. Goku's expression was serious, his earlier playfulness completely absent. But you're right, this is my fault. That dark side guy is testing me, and innocent people are getting hurt because of it. It's not your fault, Superman said firmly. Darkseid would have found another excuse. He always does. The question is, what do we do now? Wonder Woman finished. Lashina is Darkseid's third strongest fury, enhanced by Motherbox technology. If she's empowered Ivy as well, we're looking at a combination that could turn Gotham into a nightmare forest in under an hour, Oracle confirmed. The spore spread is exponential. I'm coordinating with GCPD for mass evacuation, but we need to stop this at the source. Goku cracked his knuckles. Then let's stop it. Where are they? Batman studied the Scion. This was the moment, the first real test. Would this stranger follow orders, work as part of a team? Or would his power make him arrogant, reckless? Robinson Park. But we move strategically. Lashina is trained by Granny Goodness herself, centuries of combat experience. Ivy at full power can control every plan in Gotham. Together, they're really dangerous. I get it. Goku's tone wasn't dismissive, just matter of fact. So what's the plan? Bruce allowed himself the faintest hint of surprise. The stranger wasn't charging ahead. He was asking for tactics, acknowledging their experience. Maybe, just maybe. Superman, you engage Lashina directly, Batman ordered. Your invulnerability will protect against her neural whips. Wonder Woman, Ivy is yours, the lasso of truth. Might break whatever hold the Mother Box has on her. I'll provide tactical support and handle the plant network's central hub. And me? Goku asked. You're our wild card. Lashina doesn't know your full capabilities. Stay mobile, adapt to the battlefield. And Goku, Batman's white lenses fixed on him with laser intensity. If this is a trap, if Darkseid has something else planned, I'll handle it, the Scion promised. That's what I do. They moved as one, for heroes cutting through Gotham's rain-soaked night. Oracle's voice fed them real-time updates. GCPD has evacuated 6 blocks. Commissioner Gordon is asking for ETA on containment. 10 minutes, Batman said with absolute certainty. Oracle, prep the herbicide drones. On my mark, we saturate the park. Robinson Park emerged from the gloom, once Gotham's greatest green space, now transformed into something from a fever dream. Trees had mutated into twisted mockeries, their bark weeping phosphorescent sap. Vines as thick as telephone poles writhed with hungry intent. And in the center, surrounded by a throne of thorns, poison ivy and Lashina waited. Welcome, heroes. Ivy's voice drifted across the corrupted garden, honeyed and deadly. Do you like what we've grown? A taste of apocalypse, seated in Gotham's soil. Lashina's cruel smile revealed filed teeth. And you brought a new plaything. How thoughtful. Lord Darkseid will be pleased with the data. Goku landed between Superman and Wonder Woman, his eyes fixed on the Fury. He could feel her power, not as overwhelming as the presence watching from afar, but substantial, dangerous, the kind of opponent who'd killed countless warriors. Last chance, Superman called out, his voice carrying across the park. Stand down, Ivy. You're being used. This isn't your crusade, it's Darkseid's game. Darkseid offered me power to save the green. Ivy countered, her eyes blazing with zealot conviction. Power to make humanity respect nature, by force if necessary. I accepted. Then you've already lost, Wonder Woman said sadly, drawing her sword. The moment you ally with Apocalypse, you become a slave. There is no partnership with Darkseid, only servitude. Enough words. Lashina's neural whips cracked. Energy tendrils that could flay flesh from bone. Lord Darkseid commands data. So fight, little Scion. Show us what you are. The park exploded into motion. Superman charged Lashina, his fist meeting her energy whip in a detonation of force. Wonder Woman vaulted over mutant vines toward Ivy, her lasso spinning. Batman vanished into shadows, already moving toward the park's central water system. And Goku found himself surrounded by 3 massive plant constructs, chittering things with too many teeth, their cellular structure reinforced with apocalyptic biotech. Okay, he muttered, dropping into his fighting stance. This universe keeps getting weirder. The constructs attacked as one, moving far faster than plants had any right to. Goku weaved between snapping jaws, his fists blurring as he struck nerve clusters. He could sense even in these alien organisms. Each hit released controlled bursts of ki. disrupting their cellular cohesion without causing massive explosions. He's holding back, Lashina observed, deflecting Superman's heat vision with her whips. The Scion fights with restraint. How disappointing. Don't mistake. Control for weakness, Superman grunted, grappling with the fury. Her enhanced strength nearly matched his own. Mother Box upgrades were terrifying. That's Batman's first lesson. In the shadows, Bruce deployed nanite herbicide into the water system. Oracle's voice was steady in his ear. Compound is spreading. 30 seconds to full saturation. But Batman, Ivy's building something. Energy readings are spiking near her position. Diana saw it too. Ivy channeling power through the Mother Box interface. The mutant plants around her growing, merging, forming something massive. She's creating an apocalyptian flora hybrid. A biotitan. How big? Superman asked, throwing Lashina through 3 trees. Bigger than Swamp Thing, Oracle said grimly. And it's waking up. Goku dispatched the last plant construct and looked toward Ivy's position. The energy signature building there was enormous, not god level, but substantial. And twisted. The key felt wrong, corrupted by technology and malice. Hey, he called to the others. Whatever she's making, it's almost done. Should I? Wait, Batman ordered. The herbicide needs 15 more seconds to reach critical. The Biotitan rose. 50 feet tall, a nightmare amalgamation of apocalyptian armor and writhing plant matter, eyes burning with bioluminescent rage. It roared, a sound that shattered windows across 6 blocks, and swung a massive vine tendril at Wonder Woman. Diana blocked with her bracers, but the impact drove her into the ground, creating a crater. Superman broke from his fight with Lashina, catching the Titan's follow-up strike. The force of it made even the Man of Steel grunt with effort. Goku, Batman's voice cut through the chaos. We need containment. Can you restrain it without killing? On it, the Scion shot forward, his aura flaring. He appeared at the Titan's head, delivering a precise strike to what he sensed was a neural cluster. The creature staggered. He followed with a rapid combination, each hit calculated, controlled, designed to disrupt rather than destroy. The Bio-Titan adapted. Vines shot from its body, dozens of them, attacking from every angle. Goku's hands became blurs, deflecting, severing, weaving through the assault. He was strong. Gods, he was strong, but he was also precise. No wasted energy. No collateral damage. Batman watched from his vantage point, his tactical mind cataloging every movement. The Scion fought like someone who'd trained for decades, who'd faced impossible odds and learned to win without breaking what he protected. Herbicide is at full saturation, Oracle announced. Batman, you're clear to activate. Bruce triggered the compound. Throughout Robinson Park, the extra-dimensional plants began to wither, their apocalyptian enhancements breaking down at the molecular level. The Bio-Titan screamed, its structure destabilizing. Now, Wonder Woman shouted. While it's vulnerable, Superman's heat vision carved through weakened plant matter. Diana's sword flashed with divine light, severing the Titan's connection to the corrupted Earth. And Goku, he appeared at the Titan's core, where Ivy's Mother Box interface pulsed. His hand glowed with concentrated ki. Sorry about this, he said, and released a precision blast. The Mother Box shattered. The Bio-Titan collapsed into rapidly decomposing plant matter, and Poison Ivy fell, the madness clearing from her eyes as apocalyptian influence evaporated. Lashina snarled in rage. You dare destroy Lord Darkseid's technology? Yeah, Goku said simply, turning to face her. I do. You hurt innocent people. Made this woman hurt people. That's not okay. The Fury's eyes blazed. You know nothing of power, primitive. Lord Darkseid's reach spans galaxies. He will. He can come talk to me himself. Goku interrupted. His voice calm, but carrying an edge that made everyone pause. I've fought tyrants before. Fought gods. And I'm still here. So if your boss wants to test me, fine. But leave Earth and its people out of it. For a long moment, Lashina stared at the Scion. Then she smiled, cold and calculating. As you wish. A boom tube opened behind her. Lord Darkseid will be intrigued by your invitation. Farewell, heroes. The real test begins soon. She vanished into the portal, leaving only silence and the smell of withering plants. Superman landed beside Goku. You just challenged Darkseid. Do you understand what that means? That he's going to come after me instead of random people? Goku shrugged. Good. Better me than innocents who can't defend themselves. Batman emerged from the shadows, his expression unreadable. That was either the bravest or most foolish thing I've ever witnessed. Probably both, Wonder Woman said, a hint of admiration in her voice. She approached Ivy, now unconscious, and checked her vitals. She'll live. The mother box corruption is fading. She can stand trial. Oracle's voice crackled through. All clear. GCPD is moving in for cleanup. Commissioner Gordon says thank you, and also asks if the new guy is staying in Gotham, because he doesn't think his blood pressure can handle it. Despite everything, Superman almost smiled. We should head back to the Watchtower. Debrief. And, Goku, we need to talk about what you just did. Did I mess up? The Scion asked, genuinely concerned. I thought getting him to focus on me was the right move. It was, Batman admitted, and coming from him, it was practically a standing ovation. But you've just painted a target on your back that can't be removed. Darkseid doesn't forget challenges. He doesn't forgive defiance. Goku's smile returned, not cocky, just confident. Then I guess I better be ready. But that's okay. I'm pretty good at dealing with bad guys who think they're unstoppable. As they prepared to teleport back, Batman opened a private channel to Superman and Wonder Woman. Assessment. He's genuine, Clark said quietly. I'd stake my life on it. He fights with honor, Diana added. And more importantly, with restraint. That control, against a threat that size, that's learned behavior. Someone taught him the value of measured force. Or, Batman countered, he's playing a very long game we don't understand yet. Bruce, Superman's voice carried weight. He saved hundreds of lives today, followed orders, worked as part of the team. At some point, you have to trust your instincts. My instincts, Batman said darkly, are currently warning me that we've just made things much, much worse. Darkseid now has a reason to come to Earth with his full force. And when he does, thunder rumbled across Gotham's sky, though the storm was miles away. On Apocalypse, Darkseid rose from his throne. The Scion had issued challenge. Very well. Let him discover what it meant to draw the attention of a god. The invasion would begin at dawn. The Watchtower's medical bay hummed with activity as doctors examined the refugees from Gotham, 43 civilians, exposed to the spores, all showing signs of cellular corruption that would have killed them without immediate intervention. Goku stood by the observation window, watching the medical team work with technology that seemed like magic to him. They're going to be okay, Superman said, joining him at the window. Thanks to you. That key barrier you created bought them the time they needed. I'm glad, Goku said softly. Back home, I've seen too many people die because I wasn't strong enough or fast enough. It never gets easier. Clark studied the Scion's profile. There was something in his voice, a weight that spoke of genuine loss, of battles won at terrible cost. You've lost people. Yeah. Goku's reflection in the glass showed eyes older than his youthful face suggested. Friends, teachers, my grandfather who raised me, even myself a few times. He glanced at Superman. You've lost people too. I can tell. More than I'd like to count, Clark admitted. It's the burden of this power. No matter how strong you are, you can't save everyone. Can't be everywhere at once. And the ones you fail to save. He trailed off. Stay with you forever, Goku finished. Yeah, I know that feeling. They stood in companionable silence. Two warriors who'd learned the same hard lessons in different universes. Conference room. Batman's voice cut through their comms. Now, we have a situation. The situation, as it turned out, was catastrophic. Oracle's holographic display showed satellite feeds from across the globe. Boom tube signatures, dozens of them, flickering in and out of existence. Not opening fully, just testing, probing Earth's defenses. He's mapping us, Batman said grimly. Darkseid is scanning every major city, every military installation, every point of strategic value. He's preparing for invasion. How long do we have? Wonder Woman asked, her hand resting on her sword. Best estimate? 72 hours before full-scale assault. Oracle's face appeared on screen, worry evident despite her professional composure. I've contacted the other League members. Green Lantern is mobilizing the Corps. Flash is evacuating coastal cities. Cyborg is fortifying the teleportation network. But Batman, this is different from his previous attacks. The probe patterns suggest he's looking for something specific. Me, Goku said quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. He's looking for me, right? That's why the probes are concentrated around Metropolis, Gotham, here. Places I've been. Batman didn't deny it. You issued a challenge. Darkseid takes challenges personally. But more than that, you represent an unknown. A variable that doesn't fit his calculations. He needs to understand you before he moves. Then let me go to him, Goku said simply. I'll fight him one-on-one. Keep Earth out of it. No. Superman's voice was flat, absolute. That's not how we do things. We don't sacrifice teammates to tyrants. We stand together, or we fall together. Besides, Wonder Woman added, Darkseid doesn't want a duel. He wants conquest. Your challenge merely accelerated his timeline. He would have come eventually, he always does. Goku frowned, frustrated. So what do we do? Just wait for him to attack. We prepare, Batman said, pulling up tactical displays. Oracle, what's the status on the boom tube inhibitors? 70% functional. We can block maybe half his insertion points, but he'll adapt. He always does. Lantern Corps? Diana asked. 3 green lanterns en route. ETA 18 hours, Oracle reported. Hal is bringing John Stewart and Kyle Rayner. They're leaving 2 sectors lightly defended, which the Guardians are not happy about. But they recognize the threat level. What about the others? Superman pressed. Aquaman, Shazam, Martian Manhunter. Arthur is preparing. Atlantis for potential underwater incursion. Darkseid's used that approach before. Billy is protecting the Rock of Eternity in case Darkseid goes after magical artifacts. And John? Oracle hesitated. John is investigating something. He detected psychic interference during the Gotham incident. Something was watching through Lashina's mind. Darkseid himself, Batman concluded. He saw everything. Analyzed Goku's fighting style, power output, tactical decisions. Great, Goku muttered. So he knows how I fight. No, a new voice said. And they all turned to see a figure materializing from thin air. Older, bearded, wearing robes that seemed woven from stars themselves. Goku's instincts screamed power, vast, ancient power. He knows how you fought, but I suspect, young scion, that you were holding back considerably. Phantom Stranger, Batman acknowledged, though his tone suggested he wasn't pleased by the interruption. What do you want? To offer perspective, the stranger said, his eyes fixed on Goku with unsettling intensity. You are not the first warrior to challenge Darkseid. Countless champions across countless worlds have stood defiant. All have fallen. All have been broken or enslaved or killed. Is there a point to this? Wonder Woman asked sharply. The point, Princess, is that Darkseid is inevitable. He is the god of tyranny, and tyranny is woven into the fabric of existence itself. You cannot kill an idea, cannot destroy a fundamental force. The stranger's gaze remained on Goku. But you are. Something he has never encountered. A warrior whose power grows through battle, who becomes stronger when pushed to his limits. A scion. How do you know what I am? Goku asked, tensing. I know many things. I observe. I witness. And I tell you this, Darkseid fears you. Not your current power, but your potential. You represent evolutionary escalation that defies his understanding. And what Darkseid fears, he seeks to destroy completely. Then I'll get stronger, Goku said with absolute confidence. That's what I do. I've faced enemies way stronger than me before, and I found a way to win. Indeed, the stranger's expression was unreadable. But in this universe, young warrior, the price of victory is often higher than you can imagine. Superman knows this. Batman lives it every night. Wonder Woman has seen it across millennia. He turned to leave, already fading. The question is not whether you can become strong enough to defeat Darkseid. The question is whether you can do so without becoming him. He vanished completely, leaving only silence. I hate when he does that, Superman muttered. Cryptic warnings are his specialty, Diana agreed. But he's not wrong. Darkseid corrupts. It's what he does. Power, ideology, hope itself. He finds the cracks and exploits them. Goku looked between the 3 heroes. Is that what happened? In that injustice thing Batman mentioned? Superman became a tyrant. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Clark's jaw tightened. Diana's hand moved to her lasso. Batman's expression remained unreadable behind his cowl. Not here, Superman said finally. Not this timeline. But in another reality, yes. He made a choice. Chose absolute order over freedom. Believed the ends justified the means. His voice was heavy with the weight of knowing what he was capable of. That Superman started with the best intentions. Wanted to protect everyone, save everyone. And it destroyed him. Joker killed his wife and unborn child. Batman said flatly. Tricked him into doing it himself. Superman snapped. Killed Joker. Then decided to prevent all crime, all conflict, by force. Became exactly what Darkseid is, a tyrant who believes his way is the only way. Goku absorbed this information, his expression thoughtful. And you're worried I might do the same thing. The thought has crossed my mind, Batman admitted. You have Superman's power level, his genuine desire to help. But you also have something he doesn't. You enjoy fighting. You seek out strong opponents. That's a different kind of danger. Bruce, Superman started. No, he's right, Goku interrupted. I do love fighting. Love pushing myself against someone stronger, testing my limits. But, his voice hardened. I would never hurt innocent people for that. Never sacrifice others for my own enjoyment. The people I fight, they choose to fight me. And if they're threatening innocence, I stop them. That's the line. Lines blur in war, Wonder Woman said quietly. I speak from experience. When facing genocide, when watching cities burn, when holding dying children, sometimes, the only way to stop greater evil is to become slightly less good yourself. Small compromises, then larger ones, until you wake up and don't recognize yourself. That won't happen to me, Goku said with absolute certainty. That's what they all say, Batman replied. Oracle's voice broke the tension. Sorry to interrupt the philosophical debate, but we've got incoming. Boom tube signatures going active. Multiple locations. This isn't a probe, this is a landing. The main display lit up with red markers across the globe. Tokyo, London, Sydney, Mexico City, Johannesburg, Moscow. Boom tubes opening. Disgorging parademons by the hundreds. It's starting, Superman breathed. He's actually doing it. Full invasion, 3 days early. No, Batman said, analyzing the patterns. This isn't full invasion. Look at the troop deployments. They're too small for conquest. This is a provocation. He's forcing us to split up, respond to multiple crises simultaneously. Divide and conquer, Diana snarled. Classic apocalyptic tactics. Oracle, coordinate with regional teams, Batman ordered. Justice League Dark for London. Teen Titans for Tokyo. Suicide Squad for Moscow. The Suicide Squad. Goku interrupted. Amanda Waller's covert ops team. Expendable assets doing dirty work, Batman's tone suggested. He had complicated feelings about this arrangement. They're effective, if morally questionable. We take the largest concentration, Superman decided, pointing at Mexico City, where the boom tube signature was strongest. That's where Darkseid wants us. So that's where we go. It's a trap, Batman said. Of course it's a trap, Diana agreed. But we spring it anyway, because people are dying right now. I'm going with you, Goku stated, no room for argument. Batman studied him for a long moment. Can you fight at full power without destroying the city around you? I've protected Earth from way worse, Goku assured him. I know how to control my strength. Then suit up. Superman headed for the teleporter. And Goku? Welcome to the Justice League. Trial by fire. As they prepared for deployment, Oracle pulled up satellite feeds of Mexico City. The Parademon swarm was tearing through the city center, civilians fleeing in panic. But there was something else, a massive figure. 7 feet tall, crackling with Omega energy. That's Kalibak, Diana identified. Darkseid's son. Brutal, savage, incredibly powerful. And behind him, Batman's voice was grim. That's Granny Goodness. Darkseid's chief torturer and trainer of the Furies. He sent his A-team, Superman observed. No, Batman corrected. He sent the team that will push us hard enough to force Goku to reveal his full capabilities. This isn't about conquest. It's about data collection. Darkseid is still analyzing, still testing. Goku cracked his knuckles, his aura beginning to shimmer. Then I guess we should give him something to analyze. The teleporter engaged. 5 heroes vanished in a flash of light, heading toward a battle that would determine not just Mexico City's fate, but potentially Earth's future. In his throne room on Apocalypse, Darkseid watched through Kalibak's eyes. The Scion was coming. Good. Let the true test begin. Let him show his power. And then, when Darkseid understood exactly what he was dealing with, he would break this warrior. Not kill him, no. Break him. Corrupt him. Turn him into a weapon. Or failing that, erase him from existence so completely that not even memory would remain. The parademons shrieked their hunger, and Apocalypse trembled with anticipation. War had come to Earth. Mexico City burned. Not literally, Superman's heat vision had prevented the fires from spreading, but, metaphorically, the city was under siege. Parademons swarmed through the streets like locusts, their wings creating a deafening buzz that drowned out screams. Local heroes and military units fought desperately, but they were overwhelmed. Then the Justice League arrived. Superman hit the Parademon swarm like a missile, his fists creating shockwaves that scattered the creatures. Wonder Woman's lasso whipped through the air, each strike binding and neutralizing a dozen enemies. Batman deployed sonic disruptors from his gauntlets, exploiting the Parademon's weakness to specific frequencies. And Goku simply moved. He appeared in the middle of a swarm threatening a hospital, his aura flaring. A single, controlled ki blast disintegrated 50 parademons without damaging the building behind them. He vanished and reappeared 3 blocks away, catching a falling helicopter with one hand while dispatching attackers with the other. His efficiency is remarkable, Diana noted, decapitating a Parademon with her sword. No wasted motion. Every action serves dual purpose. He's fought swarms before, Batman observed from his position on a rooftop, his cape billowing as he coordinated evacuation efforts. Probably faced worse. This is routine for him. In the city center, Kalibak roared his challenge. Darkseid's son stood amidst the destruction, his beta club crackling with Omega energy. Parademons parting around him like water around stone. He was massive, 7.5 feet of raw. Brutal power, muscles like corded steel, eyes burning with battle lust. Where is the scion? His voice boomed across the battlefield. Where is the warrior who dares challenge the blood of Darkseid? Right here, Goku said, landing 30 feet away. His tone was conversational, almost friendly. You must be Kalibak. Your dad sent you to test me, right? The new god's face twisted with rage. You speak of Lord Darkseid with such casual disrespect? I will tear out your spine and present it to him as tribute. Yeah, probably not, Goku said, dropping into his fighting stance. But hey, you seem strong. This should be fun. Kalibak charged. The earth cracked beneath his feet, his beta club swinging with enough force to pulverize a tank. Goku blocked it with his forearm, and the shockwave shattered windows for 2 blocks. Both warriors paused, reassessing. You have strength, Kalibak growled, genuine respect mixing with his fury. Good. I tire of weaklings who break at first blow. Now, show me your power. They clashed in earnest. Kalibak's beta club versus Goku's martial arts. Omega energy versus ki, new god durability versus scion resilience. The battle was spectacular. Buildings cracked from the shockwaves. Pavement exploded under their feet. The very air seemed to scream. Superman finished clearing his section of the city and turned to see Goku trading blows with Kalibak at speeds that tested even Kryptonian vision. He's matching him. Kalibak once fought the entire league to a standstill, and Goku's fighting him one-on-one. And still holding back, Batman noted, analyzing the fight through his cowl sensors. His power output is increasing incrementally, matching Kalibak's escalation. He's testing his opponent, learning his patterns. Smart, Diana approved, cutting through another wave of parademons. A true warrior's approach. But where is? Hello, princess, a voice crooned from behind her. And Diana spun to find Granny Goodness hovering on her hover disk. Her aged face twisted in malicious glee. Did you miss Granny? It's been so long since we last played. Wonder Woman's eyes hardened. Granny Goodness was everything she despised, a perversion of the nurturing elder archetype, using maternal authority to break and corrupt the young into Darkseid's perfect soldiers. I should have killed you on Apocalypse, Diana said coldly. But you didn't. Because you and your little friends have rules. Granny cackled. Such weakness. But don't worry, dearie. Granny's going to educate you properly this time. She raised her mega rod, and agony lances shot toward Diana. The Amazon blocked with her bracers. But the Omega Tech weapons were designed to cause pain on a metaphysical level. Even deflected, the energy made her gasp. Superman, she called. I need. Clark was already moving, but a boom tube opened directly in his path. Through it stepped another massive figure, Steppenwolf, Darkseid's uncle and general, his electroaxe crackling with energy. The Kryptonian is mine, Steppenwolf declared. I have waited long for rematch. You're welcome to try, Superman replied grimly, his eyes beginning to glow red. The battlefield had been neatly divided. Kalibak versus Goku, Granny versus Diana, Steppenwolf versus Superman, and the Parademon swarms keeping the local forces occupied. It's perfect tactical positioning, Batman muttered. They've isolated each of us against opponents, specifically chosen to push us to our limits. This is. A boom tube opened beside him. Batman spun, batarang already flying. But the figure that stepped through caught it casually. Desaad, Darkseid's chief scientist and torturer, his withered frame hiding terrible power. Hello, detective, Desaad said, his voice like dry leaves. Lord Darkseid has asked me to dissect your tactical genius. Shall we begin? Batman's hand moved to his utility belt, accessing protocols he'd hoped never to use. Oracle. Code Red Alpha. Initiate contingency Omega. Batman, that's. Do it. Now. Across the battlefield, each hero found themselves pressed to their limits. Superman traded blows with Steppenwolf, and the general was stronger than he remembered. Mother box upgrades, clearly. Each axe strike sent shockwaves through Superman's invulnerable body. Heat vision met Omega energy in explosive collisions that lit up the sky. Wonder Woman fought Granny Goodness with every ounce of Amazonian skill. But the old monster had trained for millennia. Her Megarod found gaps in Diana's defense, delivering pain that transcended physical injury. The lasso of truth wrapped around Granny's arm. But the new god's resistance to truth was legendary. Batman found himself in a deadly game of cat and mouse with Desaad, whose technological weapons and scientific understanding of pain made him a nightmare opponent for someone with no superhuman abilities. Bruce deployed every gadget, every trick, every backup plan, but Desaad had been torturing heroes for centuries. And Goku faced Kalibak in a battle that shook the city to its foundations. Stronger. Kalibak roared, his beta club smashing down. Goku caught it, his hands glowing with ki. Show me more. You really want to see more? Goku asked, his tone shifting. The playfulness was gone, replaced by a warrior's focus. Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you. His aura exploded outward, not just the shimmer from before, but a visible corona of white-blue energy that made the air itself ripple. The ground beneath his feet cracked, power radiating from him in waves that made even the parademons hesitate. What? Kalibak started. Goku moved. One moment he was standing there. The next his fist was buried in Kalibak's stomach. The new god's eyes bulged, and he was launched backward through 3 buildings. His trajectory only stopped by a reinforced bank vault. On Apocalypse, Darkseid leaned forward in his throne. Now he would see. Kalibak emerged from the rubble, bleeding from his mouth, his armor cracked. But he was laughing, a terrible, joyous sound. Yes, this is what I wanted. True battle, true strength. He raised his beta club, Omega energy surging to maximum output. Let us shake the heavens, Scion. Let us. Goku appeared in front of him, moving faster than Kalibak's enhanced reflexes could track. A precision strike to the wrist made the new god drop his weapon. A follow-up to the knee buckled his stance. And a final palm strike to the chest sent him sprawling. I don't want to kill you, Goku said quietly, standing over Darkseid's son. But I will stop you from hurting people. That's non-negotiable. Kalibak stared up at him, something like respect flickering in his eyes. You fight like no one I've encountered. Strength with restraint. Power with precision. Father was right to be wary of you. Your father should leave Earth alone, Goku replied. Tell him that if he wants to fight me, fine. But leave innocent people out of it. You still don't understand, Kalibak said, coughing blood. This isn't about you. It's never about you. It's about breaking humanity's spirit. About proving that their heroes cannot save them. About. His words cut off as a boom tube opened behind him, yanking him back to Apocalypse. Across the battlefield, similar portals opened. Steppenwolf, locked in combat with Superman. received a command through his mother box and disengaged, retreating through a portal. Granny Goodness cackled and fled before Wonder Woman could bind her. Deesod vanished mid-sentence, leaving Batman bloodied but standing. The parademons, deprived of their commanders, scattered. In minutes, the battlefield was empty except for the heroes and the devastation. What just happened? Superman asked, landing beside Goku. Why did they retreat? We were winning. No, Batman said grimly, limping toward them. His armor was scorched, 3 ribs likely cracked, but his mind was sharp as ever. We weren't. That was the point. They pushed each of us to our limits, gathered data, and withdrew before we could turn the tide. This was never about conquest. It was about assessment, Diana concluded, her own armor battered. They wanted to see how we fight when truly pressed. Wanted to understand our capabilities, our limits, our teamwork. And they got it. Oracle's voice crackled through the comms. Professional despite the strain. I've detected motherbox scanning technology throughout the entire engagement. Every move we made was recorded, analyzed, sent back to Apocalypse. Goku looked at the destruction around them, buildings damaged, civilians terrified, emergency services overwhelmed. So what now? He has his data. What does he do with it? Now, a new voice said. And they all spun to see another figure emerging from a boom tube. But this wasn't a warrior or torturer. This was something worse. Kanto, Darkseid's master assassin, dressed in Renaissance finery, rapier at his hip, smile cold and cultured. Now, Lord Darkseid extends an invitation, Kanto said. His accent refined, his bearing aristocratic. To you, Goku of the Scions. He requests your presence on Apocalypse. A formal challenge. Single combat. You versus him. In the Armageddon arena. That's a trap, Batman stated flatly. Of course it's a trap, Kanto agreed cheerfully. But it's also genuine. Lord Darkseid has seen your power, Scion. Has measured it against his champions. And now he wishes to test you himself. Winner takes all. If you prevail, he withdraws from Earth. Forever. And if Goku loses? Superman demanded. Then Earth becomes another jewel in the crown of Apocalypse. And the Scion becomes Lord Darkseid's newest weapon. Kanto's smile widened. But there's more. Lord Darkseid knows you won't accept terms. That risks Earth. So, he offers a second option, refuse. The challenge. And he simply invades with his full force. 10,000 ships. Million parademons. The entire might of Apocalypse brought to bear against your single planet. That's not a choice, Diana snarled. That's extortion. That's Darkseid, Kanto shrugged. You have 12 hours to decide. Choose wisely, heroes. The fate of your world hangs in the balance. He bowed mockingly and stepped back through the boom tube, leaving them standing in the ruins of Mexico City. Goku looked at the 3 heroes around him. I have to go, right? I can't let him invade Earth. Absolutely not, Superman said immediately. We don't negotiate with tyrants. We don't play their games. But if I don't go, millions die, Goku countered. Maybe billions. And that would be my fault, because I'm the one who challenged him. This was inevitable, Batman said, but his voice was less certain than usual. Darkseid would have found a reason to come here eventually. You just accelerated the timeline. Bruce is right, Diana agreed. But Goku, if you go to Apocalypse, you go into the heart of his power. On his territory, surrounded by his forces, fighting by his rules. Even if you win the battle, he'll find a way to win the war. Then what do we do? Goku asked, frustration evident. Just wait for him to attack. We find another way, Superman said firmly. We always find another way. That's what heroes do. But as they stood there, each of them knew the truth. Sometimes, there was no other way. Sometimes, the only choice was between terrible options. And sometimes, heroes had to make sacrifices. The question was, which sacrifice would Goku choose? On Apocalypse, Darkseid waited. Patient. Inevitable. Eternal. The Scion would come. They always did. The Watchtower's conference room had become a war room. Holographic displays showed real-time data from across the globe, Parademon sightings, boom tube signatures, civilian casualty reports from the Mexico City engagement. The cost of Darkseid's test was measured in hundreds of injured, dozens dead, and a city that would take months to rebuild. Goku stood at the window, staring at Earth below. He'd been silent for the past hour while the Justice League debated, argued, and planned. Now, As the discussion reached a fever pitch, he finally spoke. I'm going. The room fell silent. Goku, Superman started. I have to. The Scion interrupted, turning to face them. His expression was serious, lacking any trace of his usual cheerfulness. You all keep talking about finding another way, but we both know there isn't one. If I don't go, he invades. Millions die, maybe billions. And yeah, you could fight back, probably hold him off for a while. But at what cost? The cost of not surrendering to tyranny, Batman said coldly. The moment we accept his terms, we've already lost. We've shown him that threats work, that he can dictate terms to Earth's heroes. Bruce is right, Diana added, though her voice carried less certainty. Once you step on Apocalypse, you're in his domain. The Armageddon arena is designed to amplify his power while suppressing his opponents. It's why he's never lost there. Then I'll be the first to win, Goku said simply. Look, I get it. You don't want me to go because you think it's a trap. And you're right, it probably is. But I've walked into traps before. Usually works out okay. Usually isn't good enough, Superman countered. What happens if you lose? You become his weapon, and Earth loses its greatest defender. Because Goku, Clark's voice softened. In the short time we've known you, you've proven yourself. You're not just powerful, you're genuinely good. The kind of good this universe needs. The words hung in the air. Goku looked surprised, almost embarrassed by the praise. Superman's right. Oracle's voice came through the speakers. I've been analyzing your combat footage. Your power output, your tactical decisions, your restraint. You could have leveled Mexico City fighting Calabac. Could have killed him in the first exchange. But you held back, protected civilians, minimized collateral damage. That's not just skill, that's character. Which is exactly why Darkseid wants you, Batman said. He doesn't just conquer worlds. He corrupts them, breaks heroes, and turns them into symbols of despair. You, with your pure heart and immense power, would be his greatest trophy. Imagine it, the Scion warrior who challenged a god, now kneeling at Darkseid's feet. Proof that even the purest can be broken. Goku's fists clenched. That won't happen. Everyone says that, Diana said quietly. I've watched Darkseid break warriors who swore the same thing. Orion, his own son, fights his corruption every day. The anti-life equation exists specifically to strip away free will, to prove that choice itself is an illusion. Then maybe it's time someone proved him wrong, Goku countered. Look, I appreciate what you're all trying to do. Really. But where I come from, I've faced guys like this before. Frieza thought he was unstoppable, controlled hundreds of planets, killed billions. I stopped him. Cell was literally designed to be the perfect warrior, had all our abilities combined. I stopped him too. Majin Buu could destroy universes, had existed for millions of years. Stopped him. And how many times did you die doing it? Batman asked pointedly. Goku paused. Twice, actually. But I came back. Your Dragon Balls don't work here, Batman said. Death is permanent in this universe, usually, and the methods of resurrection that do exist often come with prices you don't want to pay. The Scion absorbed this information. Okay, then I won't die. I'll just have to win. Your confidence is admirable, a new voice said. And they all turned to see a figure materializing in the center of the room. Tall, wearing blue and red armor, a red cape flowing despite the absence of wind. His face was scarred, one eye covered by a patch, the other burning with barely contained fury. Orion, Superman acknowledged. We weren't expecting. I came as soon as I heard. Orion interrupted. His gaze fixed on Goku. You're the Scion who challenged my father. Your father? Goku blinked. Wait, you're Darkseid's son? Unfortunately. Orion spat the word like poison. Born of Apocalypse, raised on New Genesis in a peace exchange. I fight every day against the rage he bred into me, the darkness he represents. And now you've given him exactly what he wants, a challenge worthy of his attention. I didn't mean to cause trouble, Goku said. But he was using that woman, hurting innocent people. I couldn't just let that happen. Orion studied him for a long moment, and something in his expression shifted. You truly don't understand what you face, do you? This isn't about strength. My father is the god of tyranny. He doesn't just conquer through force, but through inevitability. He makes you believe that resistance is futile, that free will itself is a lie. Then he's wrong, Goku said firmly. Free will is the most important thing there is. The ability to choose, to be better, to fight for what's right, to protect people who can't protect themselves. That's what makes us more than just power. For the first time since arriving, Orion smiled, a fierce, proud expression. You speak like a new god of Genesis. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. He turned to the others. I came to offer assistance. If the Scion insists on this folly, he should not go alone. You'd fight your own. Father, Diana asked. I fight him every day, Orion replied. In my blood, in my rage, in every instinct he bred into me. One more battlefield changes. Nothing. He looked back at Goku. But, understand this. Scion, on Apocalypse, in the Armageddon arena, my father is nearly omnipotent. The very ground amplifies his power. The sky itself bends to his will. You will face not just a warrior, but a god in his temple. Good, Goku said, and his smile returned. The warrior's smile. The one that preceded his greatest battles. I was worried it might be too easy. Batman pinched the bridge of his nose. Superman looked like he wanted to argue, but couldn't find the words. Diana shook her head, though there was admiration in her eyes. You're insane, Oracle said through the speakers. Probably, Goku agreed. But I'm also right. Someone has to stand up to him. Might as well be me. Not alone, Superman said firmly. If you're going to Apocalypse, we're coming with you. Clark, Batman started. No, Bruce. He's right about one thing. We can't just wait for Darkseid to invade. And if Goku's willing to face him directly, the least we can do is back him up. Superman looked at each of his teammates. Who's with me? Always, Diana said without hesitation. Batman was silent for a long moment. Then, this is the worst tactical decision we've ever made. The risks are astronomical. The chances of success are minimal. We're walking into the lion's den because a stranger from another universe thinks he can punch a god hard enough to make him surrender. So that's a yes? Goku asked hopefully. That's a yes, Batman confirmed. But we do this my way, with preparation, with contingencies, and with full understanding that this mission has an extremely high probability of total failure. I wouldn't have it any other way, Superman said, clapping Bruce on the shoulder. Oracle's voice carried a mix of pride and terror. You're all completely insane. I'm alerting the rest of the League. If you're doing this, you'll need support. Green Lantern, Flash, Cyborg. I'm calling everyone in. No, Batman said. We keep the team small. Superman, Wonder Woman, Orion, Goku, and myself. Any larger, and we become an invading force. Darkseid will use that as justification for immediate retaliation. 5 heroes against the might of Apocalypse, Diana mused. I've faced worse odds. Though admittedly, not much worse. What about the 12-hour deadline? Goku asked. When does that run out? Oracle checked her chronometer. 8 hours, 17 minutes. Then we have time to prepare, Batman said, already moving toward the armory. Goku, you need to understand what you're walking into. Apocalypse isn't just a planet, it's a weapon. The atmosphere is toxic. The gravity is crushing. The population consists entirely of beings bred for war and subjugation. And the Armageddon arena, Orion added, following them, is where my father tests his greatest weapons. The blood of 1,000 champions stains its stones. Their screams echo in its walls. It is despair made manifest. Sounds cheerful, Goku said. So what's the plan? Batman pulled up holographic schematics of Apocalypse, massive fire pits, towering citadels, the Armageddon arena at the planet's core. The plan is simple. We arrive. Goku fights Darkseid. The rest of us provide support and prevent interference. If things go wrong, we extract and regroup, Superman finished. No martyrs. No last stands. We fight smart, and we all come home. And if Darkseid refuses to honor his word, Diana asked, if Goku wins and he invades anyway, then we were no worse off than before, Batman said. Except we'll have shown him that Earth has warriors who can match his champions. That might give him pause, or provoke him to come with even greater force, Oracle countered. But honestly, I'm past caring about worst-case scenarios. They're all terrible. Goku watched the tactical discussions, the preparation, the grim determination on each face. These heroes were risking everything to support him, a stranger who'd literally fallen into their universe days ago. It was humbling. and it strengthened his resolve. He would win, not just for himself, but for them, for Earth, for everyone who believed that tyranny could be resisted. "Hey," he said quietly to Superman as they prepared. "Thank you for trusting me, for backing me up. I won't let you down." Clark met his eyes. "I know you won't. But Goku, if things go bad, if you can't win, promise me you'll retreat. Live to fight another day. That's the most important rule of being a hero. You can't save anyone if you're dead." "I'll remember that," Goku said. "But I don't plan on losing." As the countdown ticked away, the 5 heroes prepared for a journey into hell itself. Batman checked his contingency weapons. Apocalyptian tech reverse-engineered from captured equipment. Omega beam deflectors, boom tube disruptors. Wonder Woman sharpened her God-killer's sword, reciting ancient Amazonian prayers. Superman meditated, centering himself for the battle ahead. Orion checked his mother box, the sentient computer pinging softly. And Goku stretched, rolled his shoulders, and felt the ki flowing through his body. This universe's energy still felt slightly off, but he was adapting, getting stronger, understanding the rules. Good. He'd need every advantage he could get. "Oracle," Batman said as they assembled at the teleportation bay. "If we're not back in 6 hours, I implement Protocol Omega Sanction," she confirmed. Her voice steady despite obvious emotion. "The League mobilizes. Full defensive measures. And I send the data package to the Green Lantern Corps, requesting emergency intervention." "Excellent." Batman looked at his team, gods and warriors. The strongest defenders Earth had ever known. "Any last words?" "Yes," Goku said, surprising them all. "In my universe, before big fights, we have a tradition. We acknowledge what we're fighting for." He placed his fist over his heart. "I fight for Earth, for people who can't fight for themselves, for the idea that good can triumph over evil, that hope matters, that freedom is worth any cost." Superman placed his fist over his heart. "For truth and justice." Wonder Woman joined them. "For love and honor." Batman, after a moment's hesitation. "For the future." Orion completed the circle. "For redemption." 5 warriors, 5 oaths, 1 mission. The boom tube opened before them. A portal to Apocalypse, to the Armageddon arena, to a confrontation that would echo across the multiverse. Goku stepped toward it, then paused. "One more thing. When we get there, when I'm facing Darkseid, don't interfere unless absolutely necessary. This is between me and him. I need to prove that his way isn't the only way. That pure power doesn't have to corrupt. That someone can be strong and still choose kindness." "Goku," Superman started. "Please," the Scion interrupted. "Trust me." The heroes exchanged glances. Then, one by one, they nodded. "May the presence watch over us," Diana whispered. "May fortune favor the bold," Orion added. "May we all live to regret this decision," Batman muttered. Together, they stepped through the boom tube. Into darkness, into fire, into Apocalypse. And waiting for them, in an arena built from the bones of fallen heroes, Darkseid sat upon his throne and smiled. Let the Scion come. Let him bring hope. Darkseid would enjoy crushing it personally. Apocalypse assaulted every sense simultaneously. The gravity was 3 times Earth normal. Goku barely noticed. Superman adjusted instantly. But even Batman felt the strain through his armor's support systems. The air was thick with ash and sulfur. Fire pits burning across the landscape as far as the eye could see. The sky was a roiling mass of red and black, permanently stained by the planet's industrial hellscape. And everywhere, the oppression, not just physical, but metaphysical. Despair hung in the air like humidity. Hope felt like a foreign concept, something that withered the moment it touched this cursed ground. "Welcome to my father's kingdom," Orion said grimly, his mother box pinging warnings. "Where free will comes to die." They stood in a massive plaza, clearly designed for their arrival. Thousands of parademons lined the perimeter, standing at attention. Beyond them, the citizens of Apocalypse, the lowlies. Broken beings bred for servitude, watched with hollow eyes. No one cheered. No one spoke. They simply existed. "This is horrible," Goku said quietly, his usual cheer completely absent. "All these people, they're like empty shells. What did he do to them?" "Broke them," Diana answered, her hand on her sword. "Generation after generation of conditioning, torture, and indoctrination. These people know nothing but service to Darkseid. They can't even conceive of rebellion. Then we free them, Goku said firmly. After I beat Darkseid, we help these people. If you beat Darkseid, a cultured voice said. And Kanto emerged from the shadows. His Renaissance clothing somehow pristine despite the ash falling like snow. Lord Darkseid awaits in the Armageddon arena. But first, you must pass through the gauntlet. That wasn't part of the deal, Batman growled. The deal was single combat in the arena, Kanto corrected smoothly. But tradition demands that challengers prove their worth before facing the Lord of Apocalypse. A simple test, survive the walk to the arena. Should be easy for such mighty heroes. Superman's X-ray vision scanned the path ahead. It's a kill corridor. Weapons emplacements every 50 feet. Omega Tech turrets. And his eyes widened. Is that doomsday genetic material in those pods? Merely a precaution, Kanto smiled. Shall we begin? You go around him, Orion suggested. I'll destroy the corridor and meet you at the arena. No, Goku said, already walking forward. He wants to test me? Fine. Let's see what he's got. The moment Goku's foot touched the corridor, everything activated. Omega beams erupted from hidden turrets, the same disintegration rays. Darkseid wielded. Goku weaved between them, his body moving on instinct, each beam missing by inches. The pods burst open, releasing grotesque creatures, failed doomsday clones. All tooth and claw in mindless rage. Goku didn't even slow down. His fist caught the first clone in mid-leap. The precision strike disrupting its neural system. A spinning kick sent two more flying. A key blast destroyed an Omega turret before it could fire. He moved through the gauntlet like water, fluid and unstoppable. He's not even trying, Superman observed, watching from the corridor's entrance. That's what concerns me, Batman replied. He's treating this like a warm-up. Either he's confident beyond measure, or he genuinely doesn't understand how dangerous this is, Diana finished. He sees obstacles to overcome, not a display of Darkseid's power designed to intimidate. Orion's single eye blazed with something between admiration and concern. My father will not appreciate being treated so casually. His ego demands fear, demands recognition of his supremacy. The Scion's indifference will enrage him. Good, Batman said coldly. Angry opponents make mistakes. Goku reached the end of the corridor, completely unscathed. Behind him, the path was littered with deactivated weapons and incapacitated clones. He looked back at the others and waved, that familiar grin returning. Come on, it's safe now. As they joined him, Kanto's expression had shifted from amusement to calculation. Impressive. Lord Darkseid will be interested. Where is he? Goku asked. I'm ready to. The ground shook. Not an earthquake, something more fundamental. Reality itself seemed to bend, and ahead of them, the Armageddon arena rose into view. It was massive, a coliseum that could hold millions, carved from black stone that absorbed light. The walls were covered in ancient writing, the names of champions who'd fallen, their defeats immortalized. And at the arena's center, on a throne of obsidian, sat Darkseid. Even at this distance, his presence was overwhelming. 9 feet of solid muscle wrapped in graystone skin, eyes burning with Omega energy, face carved into an expression of absolute authority. He radiated power the way the sun radiated heat, constant, inescapable, fundamental. Goku felt it. The weight of that presence, the sheer magnitude of the being before him. This wasn't like Frisia's cruelty or Boo's chaos. This was different. This was tyranny as a universal constant, evil as a philosophical certainty. He grinned wider. Finally, someone who feels really strong. They entered the arena. The stands were filled, denizens of Apocalypse. Granny Goodness and the Furies. Calibac nursing his wounds. Steppenwolf with his axe. D-Sod taking notes. All of Darkseid's court had gathered to witness this challenge. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Orion took positions at the arena's edge, as agreed. This was Goku's fight. They would only intervene if Darkseid broke the terms. Goku walked to the center of the arena. Darkseid rose from his throne and descended, each step making the ground tremble. They stopped 30 feet apart. You are smaller than I expected, Darkseid said, his voice like continents grinding together. The one who dares challenge a god. You're bigger than I expected, Goku countered cheerfully. But size doesn't always mean strength. I fought plenty of big guys. Usually works out okay for me. Darkseid's eyes narrowed. You speak with levity in the presence of Darkseid. You face the Lord of Apocalypse, the god of tyranny, the one who seeks the anti-life equation, and you smile. Explain this disrespect. It's not disrespect, Goku said seriously. I'm smiling because I'm excited. You're really strong. I can feel it. This is going to be a great fight. That makes me happy. For a long moment, Darkseid simply stared. Then he did something no one in attendance had ever seen. He laughed. Not mockery. Not cruelty. Genuine, booming laughter that echoed across the arena. You are either the greatest fool in existence, Darkseid said, or something entirely unprecedented. Very well, Scion. Show me this strength that brings you joy. Show me why Darkseid should fear you. I don't want you to fear me, Goku replied, dropping into his fighting stance. I want you to leave Earth alone, to stop hurting people, to understand that your way isn't the only way. There is only one way, Darkseid stated flatly. Mine. All other paths lead to chaos, to weakness, to the illusion of choice. I bring order. I bring certainty. I am inevitable. Then I guess I'm about to do the impossible, Goku said. His aura erupted, not the controlled shimmer from before, but a blazing corona of white-blue energy that lit the dark arena like a sun. The power signature made even Darkseid take notice, his Omega beams flickering in response. Impressive, the Lord of Apocalypse admitted. You possess power worthy of the new gods, but power alone is insufficient. Darkseid is beyond mere strength. Then let's find out, Goku said, and moved. He crossed the 30 feet in a fraction of a heartbeat. His fist aimed at Darkseid's face with enough force to level mountains. Darkseid's hand came up, catching the punch with a sound like thunder. For a moment, they froze, Scion versus New God. He versus Omega Energy, hope versus tyranny. Then they really began to fight. The exchange was too fast for most eyes to follow. Goku's martial arts versus Darkseid's brutal efficiency. Ki blasts met Omega beams in explosions that lit the arena. Each strike sent shockwaves through the ground, cracking the ancient stone. Superman watched with mounting amazement. He's actually matching him. Blow for blow, Goku's matching Darkseid. No, Batman said, his cowl's sensors analyzing the fight. He's doing more than matching. He's adapting. Every exchange, he's learning Darkseid's patterns, adjusting his tactics. He's treating this like a training exercise. Orion's single eye blazed. My father realizes it too. Look, Darkseid's expression had shifted from arrogant certainty to focused intensity. The Scion wasn't falling before his might, wasn't cowering before his Omega beams, was treating him like an opponent, not a god, not an inevitability, just another strong fighter to overcome. Enough! Darkseid's roar shook the arena. His Omega beams fired at full power, twin lances of disintegration, energy that could erase matter from existence. Goku dodged, the beams tracking him, bending space to follow their target. Goku's hands came together. Kami, what is he doing? Diana breathed. Concentrating his energy, Batman said. All of it. Into one attack. Kami. The Omega beams converged, impossibly fast, unavoidable. Goku's aura exploded to its limit. Huh. The Kamehameha wave erupted from his hands. A column of pure ki that met the Omega beams head-on. Energy versus energy. Creation versus destruction. Hope versus despair. The collision lit the arena like a newborn star. Spectators shielded their eyes. The very air screamed. And in the center, Goku and Darkseid poured everything into their respective attacks, locked in a stalemate that neither would yield. Impossible, Desad whispered. He's matching the Omega effect. That's never happened. The Scion is stronger than we calculated, Granny Goodness added, her glee replaced by concern. Calabac simply stared, understanding for the first time what his father faced. The energy clash lasted 10 seconds that felt like eternity. Then, incredibly, impossibly, Goku's Kamehameha pushed forward. Just an inch. Then another. The Omega beams, weapons that had destroyed planets, were being driven back by pure ki. Darkseid's eyes widened, not in fear, but in revelation. This Scion, this warrior from another universe. He was real. The threat was real. How interesting. Darkseid released the Omega beams and moved, appearing beside Goku with new god speed. His fist caught the Scion in the ribs, sending him flying across the arena. Goku hit the wall hard enough to crack it, but bounced back immediately, wiping blood from his mouth. "Now that's more like it," Goku exclaimed, his grin fierce. "You're even stronger than I thought. This is great. You celebrate damage to yourself," Darkseid observed, landing heavily. "You seek pain, struggle, the brink of death. Why? Because that's where growth happens," Goku explained, his aura intensifying. "Every time I'm pushed to my limit, every time I face someone stronger, I get stronger too. It's what Scions do. We adapt. We evolve. We never stop getting better." Darkseid processed this information. Then his expression shifted to something terrible, genuine interest. "You are a weapon that sharpens itself through combat. A warrior who becomes stronger through defeat. You are." He paused, and for the first time in millennia, Darkseid felt something other than absolute certainty. "Unpredictable. I get that a lot," Goku said. "So, ready for round two?" In the stands, Superman leaned toward Batman. "Is it just me, or is Darkseid actually enjoying this?" "He is," Batman confirmed grimly. "That's the worst possible outcome. If Darkseid sees Goku as a challenge, rather than a threat, if he becomes intrigued, rather than defensive, he'll want to own him, or iron finished. To break him, study him, weaponize him. Father doesn't destroy what fascinates him. He corrupts it." Diana's hand tightened on her sword. "Then we may need to intervene after all." But in the arena, something was shifting. Goku's aura was changing, deepening. His power output was increasing, not in bursts, but steadily, continuously. His body was adapting to Apocalypse's oppressive atmosphere, to the crushing gravity, to the very nature of this dark universe. He was getting stronger, mid-fight, right before Darkseid's eyes. And the Lord of Apocalypse realized something that should have been impossible. This Scion might actually win. The thought should have enraged him, should have driven him to unleash his full power, to show this primitive why Darkseid was feared across 1,000 worlds. Instead, Darkseid smiled. "Come then, Son Goku," he said, assuming his own combat stance. "Show Darkseid the limits of your evolution. Prove whether adaptation can triumph over inevitability." Goku's response was to transform. His aura exploded golden, his hair standing upright and turning blonde, his eyes shifting to turquoise. Power poured off him in waves that made the arena itself groan. "Super Saiyan," Goku said, his voice carrying harmonics of pure power. "Let's see how you handle this." In the stands, Kalibak dropped his drink. Granny Goodness gasped. Desaad's instruments shattered from the energy readings. And Darkseid actually took a step back. Not from fear, from respect. "Now," the Lord of Apocalypse said, Omega energy surrounding his entire body. "Now you are worthy." They charged simultaneously, and the real battle began. The arena shattered. Not metaphorically, literally shattered. The ancient stone that had withstood battles between new gods, that had been reinforced with apocalyptic technology for millennia, cracked and split as Super Saiyan Goku and a fully empowered Darkseid collided. The shockwave flattened the first 3 rows of spectators. Parademons were thrown into the air like leaves. Even the Furies had to brace themselves against the hurricane, force of raw power emanating from the two combatants. Goku moved like lightning made flesh, 1,000 punches in seconds, each one carrying enough force to demolish buildings. Darkseid met every strike. His new god physiology and Omega energy letting him match the Super Saiyan blow for blow. When Goku landed a solid hit to Darkseid's jaw, the Lord of Apocalypse actually stumbled. When Darkseid's fist connected with Goku's sternum, the Scion's feet carved trenches in the arena floor. "This power," Darkseid said, Omega beams lancing from his eyes. "This transformation. You change yourself at a fundamental level." First time, Goku grinned, deflecting the beams with his bare hands, something that should have been impossible. "I've got a few more where this came from." He vanished and appeared behind Darkseid. A devastating kick aimed at the new god's spine. Darkseid twisted, caught the leg, and slammed Goku into the ground with enough force to create a crater 50 feet wide. Goku bounced up immediately, his instant transmission putting him across the arena. Kamehameha. The blue-white beam erupted again, but now enhanced by Super Saiyan power. It carved through the air, reality itself rippling around its passage. Darkseid's Omega beams met it head-on. This time, the collision was even, perfectly matched, neither giving ground. The crossed energy streams created a sphere of pure destruction between them, growing larger, unstable. He's going to blow the arena. Orion shouted. If that energy sphere reaches critical mass. Batman was already moving, deploying an Omega Tech disruptor. Wonder Woman's lasso of truth wrapped around the sphere, trying to contain it. Superman added his heat vision, attempting to bleed off excess energy. The sphere pulsed once, twice. Then Goku and Darkseid both cut their attacks simultaneously, the sphere dissipating in a wash of harmless light. They stood across from each other, both breathing slightly harder. Goku had scorch marks on his GI, blood trickling from his lip. Darkseid had cracks in his stone skin, Omega energy flickering erratically around his wounds. You damaged Darkseid, the Lord of Apocalypse stated, not quite a question. In millennia of combat, few have managed such a feat. You're tough, Goku admitted, rolling his shoulders. Tougher than most opponents I've faced. But you're not unbeatable. Nobody is. Incorrect. Darkseid's eyes blazed. Darkseid is. Darkseid will always be. You may wound this body, but the concept I represent, tyranny, order through absolute power, is eternal. You cannot kill an idea, Scion. Maybe not, Goku said, his aura intensifying. But I can prove it wrong. Can show people there's another way. That's what heroes do. We give people hope. We show them that darkness doesn't have to win. Hope, Darkseid repeated, as if tasting something bitter. Hope is the cruelest illusion. It promises salvation while delivering only suffering. Better to accept inevitability. Better to embrace order. That's where you're wrong, Goku countered. His power surged higher, Super Saiyan ramping toward its peak. Golden energy crackled around him like a storm. Hope isn't an illusion. It's a choice. Every person gets to choose, give up or keep fighting. Accept tyranny or resist. And as long as even one person chooses to fight, your inevitability is just another lie. For a moment, something flickered in Darkseid's eyes. Not doubt, never doubt, but perhaps curiosity? This. Scion spoke with absolute conviction, backed by power that matched his words. He believed what he was saying, believed it with his entire being. Belief without evidence. Faith in something unprovable. How alien. Then let us test your faith, Darkseid said. Let us see if hope survives when confronted with Apocalypse's true power. He raised both hands, and the entire planet responded. The fire pits burned brighter. The atmosphere grew thicker. The very gravity intensified further. This was Darkseid's domain, and he was channeling its essence into himself. He's drawing on the planetary matrix, Orion warned, his face pale. He's using Apocalypse itself as a power source. He hasn't done that since the Crisis Wars. Batman's instruments were going haywire. Goku's power output is also increasing exponentially. His Scion biology is adapting to the increased pressure, using it as resistance training. Superman watched both combatants power up, each feeding off the other's escalation. They're going to destroy this planet. Maybe this entire sector of space. Then we extract now, Diana decided. Boom tube protocols, evacuate Goku. No. Orion's voice was firm. Look at them. Really look. They did. And they saw it. Goku and Darkseid weren't just fighting anymore. They were communicating. Every exchange of blows was a conversation about strength, about philosophy, about the fundamental nature of power and responsibility. Goku's pure-hearted conviction versus Darkseid's absolute certainty. It was beautiful in its terrible way. Two gods debating the fate of existence through combat. My father has found what he sought, Orion said quietly. An opponent who challenges not just his strength, but his worldview. Win or lose, this battle will be remembered forever. Goku's aura exploded again, Super Saiyan pushing toward its absolute limit. His power was so intense now that the golden energy had white cores, electricity arcing through it. He'd never held this level before, never needed to. Darkseid, he shouted across the ruined arena. I'm about to show you my full power. Everything I've got. If you can't handle it, surrender now. The Lord of Apocalypse actually laughed, genuine amusement mixing with battle lust. Darkseid does not surrender. Come, Scion. Show me the limits of evolution. They charged one final time. The collision was apocalyptic. Goku's fist met Darkseid's with force that cracked the planetary crust. Shockwaves radiated outward, toppling the arena's walls. The spectators fled, even the Furies recognizing when a battle had exceeded safe observation distance. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Orion held their ground, shielded by Orion's mother box and Batman's emergency barriers. They watched as Goku and Darkseid traded blows that would have killed any lesser being, each strike a statement of absolute will. Then, in a moment of perfect clarity, Goku saw it, the opening. Darkseid's guard dropped for a fraction of a second, Omega energy cycling for another beam attack. A weakness, a vulnerability. Goku could end it. One strike, all his power, aimed at that critical point. He could kill Darkseid right now. His fist pulled back, power coalescing. Darkseid saw it too. Saw the Scion recognize the lethal opening. Saw him prepare the killing blow. And Darkseid smiled. Do it. Prove you are no different than any conqueror. Prove that power always corrupts. Strike me down and become. Goku's fist diverted at the last instant. Instead of a lethal strike, he delivered a powerful but non-fatal blow to Darkseid's shoulder, spinning him around. Before the new god could recover, Goku was behind him. One arm locked around Darkseid's throat in a chokehold. The other hand pressed against his back, key charged and ready. I could kill you, Goku said, his voice strained from maintaining this power level. Right now, I could end you. But I won't. Because that's not what heroes do. We don't kill when we have another choice. We're better than that. Darkseid struggled, but Goku's grip was ironclad. His power overwhelming even the Lord of Apocalypse at this moment. For the first time in living memory, Darkseid was helpless. You have won, Darkseid said. And there was no defeat in his voice, only calculation. The Scion has bested Darkseid in honorable combat. As agreed, Apocalypse withdraws from Earth. And you leave these people here free, Goku added, his grip tightening. No more enslavement. No more torture. You let them choose their own path. That was not part of our agreement, Darkseid countered. It is now. Goku's ki flared, the energy at Darkseid's back intensifying. I won. That means you do what I say. And I say these people get their freedom. In the ruins around them, the lowlies, the broken citizens of Apocalypse, stirred. Some looked up for the first time in years, decades, lifetimes. Freedom. The word itself was alien, but the Scion was offering it. Darkseid was silent for a long moment. Then, very well. The lowlies are freed. Apocalypse withdraws from Earth. The agreement is honored. His eyes burned with Omega energy, but not directed at Goku, directed outward, broadcasting to all of Apocalypse. Hear me, citizens of this world. By right of conquest, the Scion has earned your freedom. You are no longer subjects of Darkseid. Choose your own path. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, slowly, one lowlie stood. Then another. Then dozens, hundreds, thousands. They didn't cheer. They didn't know how. But they stood, and that was enough. Goku released Darkseid, stepping back, but ready to react if the new god attacked. Thank you for honoring your word. Darkseid turned to face him, and his expression was unreadable. You are a fool, Scion. You had the power to end me, to eliminate the greatest threat this universe has ever known. Instead, you showed mercy. That weakness will be your undoing. It's not weakness, Goku said firmly. It's strength. The strength to choose a better way, even when the easy path is right there. That's what makes the difference between a hero and a tyrant. Perhaps, Darkseid's eyes studied Goku with uncomfortable intensity. Or perhaps you have simply delayed the inevitable. Darkseid will return, Scion. Not to Earth. Our agreement holds. But we will meet again. And when we do, you will learn that mercy is indeed weakness. I'll be ready, Goku promised. And I'll show you again, you're wrong. A boom tube opened behind Darkseid. He stepped toward it, then paused. What is your true name, warrior? The one your people called you before you became Goku? Kakarot, Goku answered. But I prefer Goku. It's the name my grandfather gave me. Kakarot. Darkseid tested the word. Very well. Know this, Kakarot. Today you have earned Darkseid's respect. Few can claim such distinction. Fewer still live to regret it. He stepped through the boom tube and vanished. The moment he was gone, Goku's Super Saiyan aura flickered and died. He staggered, exhausted, and Superman was there instantly, catching him before he fell. Easy, Clark said, supporting the Scion's weight. You did it. You actually did it. Yeah, Goku managed a weak grin. That was really hard. He's crazy strong. If I tried to actually kill him, I'm not sure I could have. But you won, Diana said, approaching with her sword sheathed. Through strength and wisdom, you proved that power doesn't require cruelty. Batman landed beside them, his cape settling. More importantly, you've bought Earth time. Darkseid will honor his word. He has to, or his authority is meaningless. We're safe. For now. Orion stood apart, staring at the spot where his father had vanished. His single eye burned with complex emotions: pride, anger, relief, concern. You did what I could never do, Scion. You beat him without becoming him. For that, you have my eternal respect. Around them, the freed lowlies were beginning to move, to talk, to experience agency for the first time. It would take years, maybe generations, for them to truly understand freedom. But the first step had been taken. We should go. Oracle's voice crackled through Batman's calm. I'm detecting boom tube signatures all across Apocalypse. The Furies are evacuating. The Parademon armies are standing down. It's over. A boom tube opened before them. Their exit. Back to Earth. But before they entered, Goku looked back at the freed people of Apocalypse. Hey, he called out. I know this is scary. Freedom is scary. But it's worth it. You get to decide who you want to be now. Make it count. One of the lowlies, a young woman who'd never known anything but servitude, met his eyes. And she smiled. Just a small smile, uncertain and fragile. But real. That was enough. The 5 heroes stepped through the boom tube, leaving Apocalypse behind. Leaving a planet forever. Changed by a Scion who refused to compromise his principles, even when facing a god. They emerged in the Watchtower's teleportation bay to find the entire Justice League waiting: Green Lantern, Flash, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter, Shazam, Aquaman, the Titans. Every hero who could make it had gathered, ready to mount a rescue mission if needed. Instead, they found victory. You're alive, Flash exclaimed, vibrating with excitement. And, wait, did you actually win? He won, Superman confirmed, helping Goku to a medical bay chair. Goku defeated Darkseid in single combat. Earth is safe. The room erupted in cheers. Heroes who'd fought Darkseid before, who knew his terrible power, couldn't quite believe it. But it was true. Goku waved weakly from his chair, embarrassed by the attention. It wasn't just me. These guys backed me up, gave me the confidence to go through with it. Couldn't have done it without them. Nevertheless, Martian Manhunter said, his telepathic voice carrying weight. You have accomplished what we thought impossible. You have earned your place among Earth's heroes, Son Goku. Batman stepped forward, and the room quieted. When the Dark Knight spoke, people listened. Goku has proven himself. His power, his character, his unwavering commitment to doing what's right even when it's hard. If he chooses to remain on Earth, if he chooses to help protect this planet, then he has my full support. Coming from Batman, that was practically a coronation. Diana placed a hand on Goku's shoulder. Welcome to the Justice League, warrior. Welcome to Earth. Goku's exhausted face split into that familiar grin. Thanks. I still need to figure out how to get home, but until then, I'd be honored to help protect this world. It's pretty great, actually. You've got good people here. Worth fighting for. Oracle, Superman said. Start researching dimensional travel. If there's a way to get Goku home, we'll find it. Already on it, Barbara confirmed. But boss, we've got incoming calls from world leaders. The UN, the Green Lantern Corps, and about 50 news agencies. Everyone wants to know what happened on Apocalypse. Tell them Earth is safe, Batman said. Tell them a new hero stood up when we needed him most. Tell them hope won. As the League celebrated. As Earth learned that the Darkseid threat had been neutralized. As news spread across the cosmos that a Scion had done the impossible. Goku sat in the medical bay, eating a massive pile of food. His appetite had returned immediately, and smiled. He'd made a difference. Saved innocent people. Proved that power didn't have to corrupt. And he'd made friends. Real friends, who'd risked everything to support him. Not bad for accidentally falling into another universe. On Apocalypse, Darkseid sat in his throne room, alone. His court had scattered, his forces stood down. his planet transforming into something he didn't recognize. And yet, he was satisfied. The Scion had been everything he'd hoped and more. A warrior of pure heart and unlimited potential. A being who could challenge him, force him to evolve, push him to new heights. "We will meet again, Kakarot," he said to the darkness. "And when we do, you will face not the god of tyranny, but the god who learned from you, who adapted, who evolved." He smiled, a terrible, patient smile. The anti-life equation could wait. He had a new equation to solve first. How to break a hero who refused to be broken. 3 months after the Battle of Apocalypse, Goku stood on the Watchtower's observation deck, watching Earth rotate slowly below. The planet had changed. In his eyes, no longer just another world he'd accidentally fallen into, but something more. A home away from home. A place worth protecting. "You're up early," Superman said, floating through the doorway with 2 cups of coffee. He offered one to Goku, who took it gratefully despite still finding the bitter taste strange. "Couldn't sleep? Just thinking," Goku admitted. "Oracle says she's close to figuring out the dimensional coordinates for my universe. Could be days, maybe weeks before she can open a stable portal." Clark joined him at the window. "And you're not sure if you want to go back?" It wasn't a question. Superman had become adept at reading the Scion's moods over the past months. They'd grown close, 2 orphans from destroyed worlds, raised on Earth, dedicated to protecting the helpless. Kindred spirits, despite their different origins. "I miss my family," Goku said quietly. "Chi-Chi, Gohan, Goten, my friends, the Earth I grew up on. But here," he gestured to the planet below. "Here, I found something too. You, Diana, Bruce. The League. This world needs heroes, and I can help. How do I choose?" "You don't have to choose right now," Superman assured him. "When Oracle creates that portal, it'll be stable. You can visit, go back and forth. Be a hero in 2 universes." Goku smiled at that. A dimensional commuter. That's pretty cool actually. Below them, Metropolis was waking up, a city rebuilt after countless attacks. Always resilient, always hopeful. Goku had helped with the reconstruction after a recent Lex Luthor scheme, using his strength to lift girders while Superman welded them with heat vision. The grateful citizens had taken to calling him the Golden Guardian, though Goku found the title embarrassing. "You've changed this world," Clark said. "Not just by defeating Darkseid, but by showing us something we'd forgotten. That you can have godlike power and still be fun. Still, find joy in the struggle." Batman's been smiling more. Actual smiles. "Diana laughs at your jokes. Even the Gotham vigilantes have loosened up a bit." "Batman smiling is kind of terrifying," Goku admitted, making Superman laugh. "Fair point. But you see what I mean. You reminded us why we do this. Not out of duty or guilt or trauma, though. Those are part of it, but because helping people feels good. Because using our strength to make others safe is rewarding in itself." Before Goku could respond, the Watchtower's alert system activated. Oracle's voice filled the observation deck. "All available League members to the conference room. We have a situation." They arrived to find the room already filling Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Martian Manhunter. The holographic display showed a spatial anomaly forming near Jupiter. "It's not a boom tube," Oracle explained, her face tense on the screen. "The energy signature is different. Similar to the dimensional breach that brought Goku here, but larger, more controlled. Someone's opening a doorway between universes, and they know exactly what they're doing." "Invasion?" Batman asked, already running tactical calculations. "Unknown. But the energy output is massive. Whatever's coming through is..." Oracle paused, checking her instruments. "Wait. I'm detecting a biological signature." "It's oh no." "What?" Diana demanded. "The signature matches Scion DNA," Oracle said slowly. "It's another one. Another Scion is coming through the portal." Goku's eyes widened. "What? Who? How?" "I don't know, but they're powerful. Reading suggests combat power similar to yours in base form, possibly higher. ETA to full portal manifestation for minutes." The League exchanged glances. Another being like Goku. That could be ally or threat. One Scion had saved Earth. 2 could protect it even better. Or destroy it if they were hostile. "I'll go meet them," Goku said immediately. "If it's someone from my universe, they might be confused, scared. I should be the first face they see." "We're coming with you." Superman stated firmly. Standard protocol for unknown dimensional travelers. Everyone suit up, Batman ordered. But Goku takes point on first contact. If this is one of his people, antagonizing them would be unwise. Minutes later, they were in space, hovering near the forming portal. Goku had transformed to Super Saiyan, a show of strength to any potential threat, but also a beacon to let any confused Saiyan know they weren't alone. The portal stabilized, reality tearing open like a wound in space. And through it stepped Vegeta. Goku exclaimed, shocked and delighted. The Saiyan Prince emerged, his arms crossed. His expression its usual scowl of superiority. He wore his familiar blue armor, his widow's peak as sharp as ever. But as his eyes found Goku, something flickered across his face. Relief, quickly masked. Kakarot, Vegeta said, his voice carrying across the vacuum of space. I see you're still alive. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. How did you find me? Goku asked, dropping out of Super Saiyan as he floated toward his rival. How did you even know where I went? Bulma tracked the dimensional signature from your disappearance. Vegeta explained, his tone grudging. Built a machine to follow it. Took 3 months to calibrate properly. He glanced at the assembled Justice League, his eyes narrowing. These are the warriors of this universe? They seem adequate. Adequate, Flash muttered. Did he just call us adequate? That's a compliment from Vegeta, Goku assured them, grinning. Trust me, everyone, this is Vegeta, Prince of all Saiyans. Greatest rival. And occasionally my friend when he's not trying to prove he's stronger than me. I am stronger than you. Vegeta shot back reflexively. But the woman insisted I retrieve you. Something about Chi-Chi will kill us all if you're not back for Goten's birthday. I was promised she'd upgrade my gravity chamber if I succeeded. Superman stepped forward, extending his hand. I'm Superman. Welcome to our universe. We've been helping Goku while he's been here. Vegeta stared at the offered hand like it might explode, then reluctantly shook it. His eyes widened fractionally. Superman's grip was strong, legitimately strong. You have power, he acknowledged. More than I expected from this universe. We have many powerful warriors here, Diana said. Her hand near her sword, but her posture non-threatening. Your friend Goku has become one of Earth's greatest defenders. Of course he has, Vegeta rolled his eyes. Kakarot can't help himself. Sees people in danger, immediately starts protecting them. It's pathologically heroic. Batman observed the interaction from the rear, his tactical mind cataloging everything about this new Saiyan. Similar power level to Goku. Prideful, possibly arrogant. Claimed to be a prince, which suggested royal upbringing and military training. Potential threat if hostile, but body language suggested he was here for extraction, not invasion. So, Goku said, a mix of emotions playing across his face. You came to bring me home. Obviously. Vegeta's expression softened slightly. Your brats miss you. Gohan has been training Goten, but the boy needs his father. And Chi-Chi, he grimaced. Let's just say you're in significant danger when you return. She's been practicing her frying pan technique. Goku laughed, the sound genuine and warm. Yeah, that sounds about right. He turned to the Justice League, and his expression grew serious. I guess this is it then. Time to go home. You don't have to leave immediately, Clark said, though his voice was heavy. Stay for a while. Let Vegeta meet the team properly. We could spar, show him around. No, Vegeta interrupted flatly. We're leaving now. The portal is stable for exactly 12 hours. After that, it'll take another 3 months to recharge the dimensional drive. So unless you want Kakarot stuck here for another quarter year, I'll come back, Goku said quickly, looking at Superman, at Diana, at Batman and the others. Oracle figured out my universe's coordinates, right? So we can create portals from both sides now. I can visit, help out when you need me, be part of the league, just long distance. The commute's a killer, Flash joked, but his smile was sad. Literally between universes. Cyborg stepped forward. I'll work with your people, help refine the dimensional technology, make it easier to travel between our universes. Could open up all kinds of possibilities, cultural exchange, shared technology, backup when facing universe-level threats. An alliance between universes, Diana said, warming to the idea. That's unprecedented. Magnificent, actually. Batman moved to Goku's side. and for once, his expression was almost warm. You did good work here, Goku. Gave us hope when we needed it. Reminded us what heroism looks like when it's not, weighed down by darkness. He extended his hand. You're always welcome back. Always. Goku shook Batman's hand, grinning. Thanks, Bruce. That means a lot. And hey, if you ever want to spar, you know where to find me. Pretty sure Vegeta would love to test himself against your universe's fighters. I didn't say that, Vegeta protested. But his eyes had already cataloged every member of the Justice League as potential opponents. Martian Manhunter stepped forward, his telepathic voice gentle. I have enjoyed knowing you. Goku, your mind is refreshingly uncomplicated, pure purpose, without deception or malice. It has been an honor. Thanks, John, Goku said warmly. You're pretty cool too. That shape-shifting thing is amazing. Green Lantern removed his ring briefly, letting it hover between them. The ring wanted me to tell you something. It said you have the strongest willpower it's ever encountered. Strong enough to wield a ring yourself if you wanted. That's pretty much the highest compliment a lantern can give. Wow, Goku said, genuinely touched. I don't think I'd be a good Green Lantern all. That structure and rules would drive me crazy, but that's really cool. Thank you, Hal. Wonder Woman approached last. She removed her tiara and, in a gesture that stunned everyone, placed it briefly on Goku's head. In Themyscira, this is how we honor our greatest warriors. You fought with honor, protected the innocent, and proved that strength without compassion is meaningless. You are Amazon in spirit, if not in blood. Goku's eyes actually welled up slightly. Diana, I don't know what to say. Thank you. Really. She replaced the tiara on her own head and smiled. Fight well, warrior. May we cross paths again. Superman was the last to say goodbye. The two men who'd become brothers in arms, who'd shown each other different paths to the same heroic destination, stood facing each other in the void of space. I'm going to miss you, Clark said simply. Having you here, it was like having family. Someone who understood what it meant to be this strong, to carry this responsibility, but approached it with joy instead of burden. I'll miss you too, Goku replied. But hey, this isn't goodbye forever. Just see you later. I'll visit. We can have those rematches we keep talking about. Maybe I'll bring Gohan. He'd love to meet you. You two have a lot in common, actually. Both raised human despite having alien powers. I'd like that, Superman smiled. And Goku? When you get home, hug your family. Tell them you love them. Don't make my mistake of thinking there's always more time. I will, Goku promised. And Clark? Thank you. For everything. For trusting me when you had no reason to. For fighting beside me. For being a friend. They embraced. Two gods who'd chosen to be human. Two warriors who'd found brotherhood across dimensional barriers. Vegeta made an impatient sound. Are you two finished? The portal won't stay open forever. And I'd prefer not to be stuck in this universe. Yeah, Goku said, reluctantly pulling away from Superman. He turned to address the entire league one last time. Thank you, all of you. You took in a stranger, trusted him, fought alongside him. You're the best heroes I've ever met, any universe. Keep protecting people. Keep giving them hope. And if you ever need me, really need me, Oracle has the dimensional coordinates. I'll come running. We'll hold you to that, Batman said. Now go. Your family's waiting. Goku and Vegeta flew toward the portal. At the threshold, Goku paused and looked back one final time. He raised his hand in that familiar wave, grinning that infectious grin that had become so beloved on this earth. Then he and Vegeta stepped through, and the portal began to collapse. Wait. Oracle's voice crackled through everyone's comms. I'm detecting something else coming through. Another signature, right on their heels. The portal flared bright, and a figure burst through just as it sealed. Small, humanoid, glowing with residual dimensional energy. They tumbled through space, and Superman caught them on reflex. It was a young woman, maybe 20, wearing clothes that looked like they were from Goku's universe. Orange GI top, blue pants. She had black hair pulled into a ponytail and carried a sword across her back. As she looked up at Superman with dazed eyes, recognition flickered. You're Superman, she breathed. The Justice League. Oh man, I actually made it. She struggled upright, floating under her own power. Key control. Like Goku. My name's Arisa. I'm one of Gohan's students. When we heard there was a way to travel between universes, I volunteered to be an exchange student, cultural ambassador, learn from Earth's heroes. The Justice League stared at this enthusiastic young warrior, who'd just dimension hopped, to join them. Batman broke the silence. Oracle, set up a guest room. Apparently, we're running an interdimensional exchange program now. On it, Oracle replied, and there was amusement in her voice. Should I prepare for more? If Goku's universe figured out stable portals, one crisis at a time, Superman said, but he was smiling. He looked at Erasa. Welcome to our Earth. I think you're going to fit right in. As they escorted their new guest back to the watchtower, as Earth continued turning below them, as Goku returned to his universe and his family, the multiverse felt a little smaller, a little more connected. Two universes, now linked by friendship and heroism. Two Earths, each protected by warriors who chose to use their power for good. And in both realities, hope burned bright. On Apocalypse, Darkseid observed these developments through his cosmic awareness. The Scion had returned home, but left his mark, had fundamentally altered this universe's trajectory. And more were coming, dimensional barriers weakening, portals stabilizing. Interesting. The multiverse was becoming accessible. More variables, more possibilities, more warriors to test, break, understand. Darkseid could be patient. He had eternity. The Scion had won a battle. But the war, the true war across infinite realities, had only just begun. In Metropolis, in the apartment Goku had used during his stay, Superman found something left behind, a note, written in Goku's simple handwriting. Thanks for everything. You showed me that heroes come in all forms. Gods who choose humanity, humans who rise to godhood, warriors who fight with wisdom, tacticians who operate in shadows. You're all amazing. Keep protecting your world. And if I'm ever needed, just call. I'll always come running. Goku. Clark placed the note in his fortress of solitude, in a place of honor beside his father's messages in the Justice League's founding charter. A reminder, a promise, a hope that across the dimensional barriers, across the infinite variations of reality, heroes would always find each other, would always stand together, would always choose to fight for those who couldn't fight for themselves. Because that's what heroes did. In every universe. Always. Earth had been forever changed by the arrival of Son Goku, the Scion who fell through dimensions and rose to become one of its greatest defenders. In just 3 months, he had earned the Justice League's trust through unwavering heroism and pure intentions, defeated Darkseid in single combat, accomplishing what the League had thought impossible, freed the enslaved citizens of Apocalypse, proving that mercy could be strength, reminded Earth's heroes that power didn't have to come with darkness, that you could be godlike and still find joy in protecting others. But his true legacy wasn't the battles won or the threats defeated. It was the hope he left behind, the understanding that the universe was larger and more connected than anyone had imagined, that heroes could emerge from anywhere, even from dimensions unknown. That strength of character mattered more than strength of body. The Justice League stood different now. Batman smiled occasionally. Superman remembered to enjoy his powers. Wonder Woman had found a warrior who matched her joy in combat. And the multiverse itself had expanded. Two Earths now linked by friendship and shared purpose. In his own universe, Goku returned to his family, to his friends, to the Earth he'd always known. But he carried memories of another world, other heroes, other battles. And he knew that if ever they called, if Earth needed him again, he would cross dimensional barriers without hesitation. Because that's what heroes did. They showed up. They fought. They protected. No matter which universe needed saving. The dimensional portal technology was stable now. Exchange programs would follow, warriors training across realities. Knowledge shared between universes. Alliances that transcended dimensional boundaries. Goku had opened a door that would never fully close. And somewhere, in the space between dimensions, new threats stirred. Beings who'd noticed the barriers weakening. Darkseid's patient smile. The Anti-Monitor's awakening interest. Dark possibilities emerging from the cracks in reality. But they would face unified defenders. Heroes from multiple Earths, multiple realities. Standing together against the darkness. Goku had proven that absolute power didn't require corruption. That you could be the strongest warrior in existence and still choose kindness. That hope, wielded properly, was the greatest weapon of all. Earth's greatest hero hadn't been born there. He'd fallen through the sky, crashed into Metropolis, and shown them all what heroism looked like when stripped of trauma and complexity, pure, joyful, unstoppable dedication to protecting the innocent. The Scion's legend would echo through this universe for generations. The Golden Guardian, the warrior who smiled, the hero who made gods remember their humanity. And in the Watchtower, in the Hall of Justice, in Gotham's shadows and Metropolis's light, heroes trained harder, fought smarter, and remembered to smile because a stranger from another universe had shown them how.